for all the things that go wrong here,
Yeah.
and let's face it, they're legion,
Yeah.
actually the reason the operation fails is because 30 Corps don't get here.
Yeah, but
they
why
don't get here in time.
Why don't they get here?
Well,
Jim?
those events are all 8 miles down the road at Nijmegen.
Yeah.
So I'm really excited about going down there and looking again at that, because last time I was here, I knew less about it than I do now.
Yeah.
So I want to look at it through the lens of greater knowledge.
Well, okay. So we could just touch on the brief comparison. This bridge is left unguarded on the night of D-Day of Operation Market Garden. The British get here, they take it.
Yeah.
Nijmegen Bridge is left effectively unguarded on the night of D-Day of Market Garden.
And they don't get there.
And the Americans don't get there. They
don't get
take
there.
it.
They don't take it.
And they're facing similar pressures because they're having to guard their drop zones and their landing zones and
Yeah.
be ready for the second lift. But here, and it's German confusion that allows that to happen.
Yeah.
Here, the British get here, they get a brigade group-ish, or a battle group here,
Yep.
if you want to call it that. Here, the Americans fail to do so. And that's why they can't, when 30 Corps get to Nijmegen,
Yeah.
they can't just drive over the bridge.
Yeah. I mean, the interesting thing, isn't it, that I mean, the Americans get an awful lot right at Nijmegen.
Yeah.
I mean, they do incredibly well. It's just the failure on day one, on D-Day and D+1 to take the bridge when they have the opportunity.
And the thing is like so much with this battle, the river crossing is this epic moment of incredible bravery when they crossed the Waal, but they didn't. There was no need.
They shouldn't have had to
do that. They shouldn't have had to do that.
Shouldn't have had
Just
to do it.
as the last stand here is an incredible story in the British military history of men in a redoubt hanging on, and here, but they shouldn't have had to do it.
Yeah.
Because of events down the road. And I think that's the thing we're gonna lean. It's hard actually to blame 30 Corps for not getting across a river that wasn't secure.
Yeah, well, we're going to be looking at a whole load of bridges.
Yeah.
This is just one of them, because actually we're looking, I think, at 4.
There's tons, yeah.
5? No,
Yeah.
5, because we've got the railway bridge, the road bridge at Nijmegen, then we've got the Heumen bridge, then we've got the Graaf bridge,
Yeah.
we've got the Groesbeek Heights, we've got the forest, we've got Gavin CP,
Yeah.
we've got all the fighting in and around Nijmegen, and all the fighting around here in Arnhem and Oosterbeek. So it's going to be a good few days.
There's 3 bridges here, strictly speaking.
Well, I suppose so. Yeah.
This is the thing. It's more than a bridge too far. It's like a whole.
It's like a whole mass of bridges.
A whole mass of Wallet's worth. Yeah. Anyway, there's
Good to
lots
be
to
here,
see.
though, isn't
So join us as we walk the ground.
So, General Jim Gavin,
Jumping Jim Gavin,
commander of the 82nd Airborne, reckons this is the single most important objective they have of all the division's objectives for Market Garden.
All right,
this is the Graaf Bridge. Yeah. It's the longest road bridge in Europe in 1944.
Well, I measured it on Google Earth a minute ago, and it's 500 metres.
Yeah,
So
I
it's
think
from
that-
end to end. Judging by the photo on the thing on the thing, from end to end, it's 500 metres.
Yeah, it's half a K.
I mean, before we go any further, we are definitely in Holland here, right?
Yeah.
Look at it.
Yeah.
I mean, how Dutch do you want your Holland? I mean, how nether
There's
do you want
cows.
your lands? Look at it.
There's cows, there's waters.
There's cows grazing merrily. We are on a dike.
Yes.
There are sort of church towers, and it is flat as, and it's wet, and we're in absolutely Dutch Holland.
Yeah.
But the important thing is, so this bridge is the umbilical cord between the road that 30 Corps are coming up.
Yes.
And what 82nd Airborne have got to hold to the north.
Yeah, because the bottom line is the vast majority of the division is landing north of the Graaf Bridge.
Yeah.
The whole of the British 1st Airborne Division is landing north of the Graaf Bridge.
Yeah.
So the problem is, if you don't get the Graaf Bridge, then 30 Corps, who are supposed to come up and take over and charge all the way to Arnhem, aren't going to be able to get there. And that's really bad news for the 82nd Airborne, and it's really bad news for the 1st Airborne.
And you'd be looking at 2 airborne divisions in the bag if you don't take
rather
this
than
one.
the inevitable one that as it turns out in Arnhem. And it's got a bunker there, it's got a bunker over there, it's got this powerhouse just over there. It's the longest bridge. He gives the job to the 504th Parachute Infantry Regiment, who are, as far as he's concerned, the number 1.
Yeah.
Commanded by Reuben Tucker. He's tough as they come. You know, he's cigar smoking, spitting tobacco, all that kind of stuff. He's, he's gung-ho, butch, and proven repeatly.
Yeah, because this is people who've been in Sicily, they've been in Italy.
Yep, they've been at Anzio.
Yeah. So they're and Normandy, of course. So So these are pretty much the most experienced airborne troops that the Allies have got.
Yeah. So he gives them the plum job, and it's not just this bridge that they've got to capture. They've also got to capture another bridge over the Maas-Waal Canal.
Yep.
Which is the next one. So this is because it's Holland, because it's flat, it's just got loads and loads of water features.
Yep.
Of course, where's water feature and you've got roads, there's bridges. So you've got to capture these bridges to make sure that 30 Corps can get all their armour and tanks and all the trucks and all the rest of it over them. So they've got to get this one, then they've got to get one of a number of bridges which crosses the Waal Canal.
Yep.
Then they've got to link up with the 505th Parachute Infantry Regiment, which are landing on their eastern side.
Yeah.
And they've got to hold this ground until 30
But
Corps arrive
first
and relieve
things
them.
first.
First things first.
This bridge.
Yep.
You need this bridge.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's the gravy bridge, right?
It's a gravy bridge.
It's the gravy bridge. Which country are we even dropping on?
Right? Come on, Sarge.
Well, because after all, this is the US 82nd Airborne. They have been stood to for stuff and stepped down the same way First Airborne have. So here we are with an operation, daylight operation, which for a lot of the men is a thing that they're nervous about because you know the landing by the cover of darkness is a good thing because you're concealed, but this means exposure. It's broad daylight.
Yep.
The bridge is there. There's a flat tower on the bridge.
It's a quiet Sunday in September.
It's a quiet Sunday. I mean, actually, this is one of the things when we got here, because very often when you go to these places, you sort of think I can't get my head round these dramatic events happening here, or the cacophony of battle, or the. But actually, one of the things you can get being here, and it's September. It's a similar kind of. It's the same time of year, similar kind of weather. Because it's so peaceful, I can actually begin to imagine the shock of suddenly the sky's full of aircraft, paratroopers are everywhere.
The distant rumble.
And then suddenly, bloody hell, here they are.
And parachutes opening.
Yeah, because what it isn't is it isn't a front line. This isn't a front line.
No.
And nor is this now. So
So this is the key point. This is what I think everyone has to understand when you're talking about an action like this. So it's not like you're arriving, and confronting Hadrian's Wall or the Great Wall of China or something.
No.
You know, this is not the battlefront.
Yeah.
So this is not going to be heavily held because there's no reason to heavily hold it.
Yeah.
What you are going to do is you're going to have a few troops in that bunker. There's a flat position on that.
You're going to have a flat tower to guard the bridge.
So you've got to have that. You know, you're going to have a few troops around, but this is not densely populated with German troops. And so what the Americans are hoping here, and also further south at Eindhoven, is that they have the element of surprise, and surprise sees them through. And so the whole process for the 504th, Reuben Tucker's 504th, is that they don't do what they normally do, which is land, assemble, get themselves organised, get themselves all together, and then move on. This is hit the ground, just go.
Because what the Americans don't do is use gliders for this sort of tactical seizure, a coup de main.
No.
They use parachute soldiers for this.
Yes.
Which means, because after all, the British have in Normandy used gliders for this sort of thing. You know, Pegasus Bridge famously. You know, we are. I mean, and this is the interesting thing. There's a point of comparison. We're further away from the bridge than they were from Pegasus Bridge, but this is a similar deal.
Yes.
You know, you need to get guys as close as you can, as concentrated amount as you can, and get there as quickly as possible. And with a glider, you put a horse glider here, 25 guys. Straight on, but with a parachute landing, you're dependent on where the jump master tells the guys to get out.
Yeah.
And this is where,
yes.
This is where there's a really interesting part of the story comes in.
Yeah, because the main drop zone for the 504th is
the
over
other
there.
side.
It's over there. If you basically cut straight through the bridge where we're looking at it now, it's sort of beyond there a couple of miles.
Yeah.
That's drop zone O. This is special drop zone. This is drop zone E.
Yeah.
And only one company is landing here. This is Easy Company.
Yeah.
The 2nd Battalion, which is commanded by Edward Willem, Major Edward Willem, not Lieutenant Colonel.
Yeah, because
they're still filling.
Well, this is the thing: is the 82nd
still depleted,
are full of replacements, and they've been rebooted since Normandy as well.
Yeah. So these are proven company commanders who've been booted up. Done really, really well up to this point, and they've been made the battalion commanders. So it is Major Edward Willem. He is in charge of the 2nd Battalion, and it is Easy Company under Walter van Poyck. Yeah. Captain Walter van Poyck. They are, so again, a captain, not a major. In command of a company. It's his company which are landing here. So they are given the job of securing the southern end. Because the theory is, if you want to capture a bridge, the best way to do it is from both ends.
Yeah.
That's the American way.
Yeah.
And actually it's inarguable.
Yeah.
So they want to capture it from the western, it's the southwestern end, and from the northeastern end. And this is the western end, the southern end.
Yeah.
So they're outliers. And the leading troops that come down are Jocko Thompson's platoon in Easy Company of the 2nd Battalion, the 506th. And you know that Easy Company is in the 2nd Battalion because it's a three company
so
system.
ABC in the 1st Battalion.
Yes.
DEF in the 2nd.
Yes, etc.
Dog, Easy Fox.
Yes.
And so on.
So we're talking about 100 guys here.
Yeah.
Here landing in this bit. And they immediately go hell for leather, as instructed by Major Willem.
Yeah.
They just go straight there. They don't wait for the rest of the guys. The first 15 go straight for that road, because the first thing they've got to do is secure the road. Yeah. And there's a bunker just over there which we're going to look. Then they're going to secure that powerhouse there, and you can just see the house there. Then they're going to get that other one, and then they're going to get onto the bridge itself. Yeah. But you've got to get the outlying kind of enemy strong points before you can get the bridge.
But if you're the Germans here, suddenly the sky's full of aircraft. You're like, what the hell? You're
low-grade troops.
Yeah, they're low-grade troops. They're LOC people. So what? Line of communication troops. So their reaction is probably to
run away.
I mean,
hog.
A stick of hairy ass paratroopers suddenly landing on my patch, I might run away. Also, it's confusing, isn't it? Because they land here and then you don't see them. So this is the thing with paratroopers, is you see them in the sky for like 15 seconds maybe as they come, because they're dropping really low.
Yeah.
20, 30 seconds, and then they're gone below the. I mean, these trees will obviously always, the trees are different to how they were 80 years ago. But they're down in a field, they're below a dike, so you don't see them anymore either. So there's this moment of, well, how many are there? Did you see? I don't know.
Yeah.
You tell me. You know, they're over in that pillbox. They were going, how many was it? I don't know. Are they nearer? How far away? Well, what do we do? What do we do?
So the main thing from a German point of view is confusion.
Yeah.
They don't know what to expect. They don't know what's coming their way. They don't know who's going to be attacked first, but they know they're now under threat.
And because Wellham has said, just go for it, they're exploiting that confusion rather than giving the Germans a moment to recover their equilibrium, which is the interesting thing, say, at Arnhem perhaps, and actually in other episodes in this battle, where that moment is kind of handed back to the Germans.
But not here. What happens here is absolutely amazing. So I think what we should do is wander round past the powerhouse and look at the road and the little kind of sort of water ditch.
Brilliant. Let's do it.
And find out what happens. So this is the site of the first big action. They've landed 600, 700 yards that way.
Yeah.
They've run this way. I reckon their first objective is that. It's that bunker there, which is there in 1944. There's the road leading up to the Graaf Bridge. The Graaf Bridge, you can just see the superstructure just over there.
So it covers the approach to the bridge. It's
from the south.
From the south,
Let's just get there. We've got only 15 men. Can only do one thing at a time. Let's do that. Then we'll take the powerhouse. Then we'll go on to the other bunker on the other side. And then we'll get onto the bridge. But let's just get that first.
So how do they deal with the bunker?
So what they do is they literally just run straight across here. They just wade straight into the water. Sergeant Roy E. Tidd attacks that, and as he gets up there, they're just basically shooting with his Tommy gun, chucking grenades, knocks it out literally straight away, before those guys know what's happening. The whole area here is probably manned by 24 men, tops, something like that. As he gets up that embankment, suddenly two motorbikes swish past. And just behind them are two trucks, followed by two half-tracks full of German troops. Bam, 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 opens fire, kills the driver in the first truck. That slews off the road. Other one goes into the back of it.
And they kill the guys in those trucks.
Yeah, and the others have come, there is a 15-minute firefight. Basically, all the Germans are piling out of the trucks. They're either running away, jumping off the other side of that, because you can see it's a raised embankment. So they're running away off the other side, or they're being cut down as they're getting out. But paratroopers are shooting from there. They're shooting they're shoulder high in the water, and they're still firing. But Tidd is up there with a couple of other guys, and it's enough. These guys know what they're doing. The Germans have been completely caught short.
You imagine if you're in that bunker. You hear the sound of aircraft. You don't know necessarily that parachutists have been dropped. you don't know what's going on, and then suddenly you're under attack. So there is absolute surprise in the air. It's not even a moment for
there's no viewing platform out that way.
Exactly. There's no one going Fallschirmjäger, you know, watch out, you know.
Yeah, it's an amazing action, but it stops it dead.
Yeah,
because whatever reinforcements are coming, they've obviously what they've heard from the town to the south.
Yeah,
they've heard the aircraft come over. They said, right, get over there. They're moving up to kind of reinforce and hold the bridge, or demolitions, or whatever they're doing. But they're coming to organise and respond to the situation.
Yeah.
But Sergeant Tidd, and the paratroopers of Jocko Thompson's platoon are already there as they're arriving at the bridge, and they're just come down. You know, and they've got nowhere to go, and they're not good troops, so they're running away, or they're panicking.
And then they have to take this power station.
So by this point, the rest of the Easy Company is joining up. They're catching up, and they're the first lot out. So they're involved in this engagement, this 15-minute firefight. It's no more than that. It's all super quick. But meantime,
the rest of the company have arrived.
Subsequent troops are also arriving, coming straight here, and they're stormed the powerhouse.
Yep.
And what they've done is they've lobbing grenades through the windows, you know, a couple of bazooka rounds, all that kind of stuff. So when they get in, they find 4 dead Germans and the same amount again, like half a dozen more, Hocking, and cowering and absolutely bricking it, thinking, I don't want to die in this stupid place. They then also have to take out this place. This place has got a flat gun on it.
Yes.
It's got a 20mm light anti-aircraft gun on the top of it.
Right.
So what they do is they just run straight over the dike. They run straight into this ditch, across the ditch, and storm it.
Right.
And take it. And it's all over here in half an hour.
Yeah.
You know, 25 minutes.
And meanwhile, there's men landing the other end of the bridge.
Yes.
Who have to take the because you said that you've got to take a bridge from both ends.
Yeah.
So they're landing on the other drop zone, the other side.
Yeah.
And are
Lieutenant Harrison.
And are assembling to take the other end.
Well, what Lieutenant Harrison does is his stick is the only stick that lands short of drop zone O. But actually, that's an advantage because it's closer.
Yeah.
He then goes, well, I better go and find out what I've got to do.
Yeah.
So he goes back, and they go, no, just
get on with it.
Get onto the bridge. Meanwhile, Staff Sergeant Alec Misseries gets onto the bridge at about 3 o'clock.
Right.
And secures it. Right. And he sets up, you know, again, he's not from Thompson's platoon, he's from a different part of Easy Company. So Alec Misseries gets on there with a whole bunch of men, and they are then setting up, they're getting rid of the demolitions.
Well, they're looking for demolitions. And there's a party of Germans, isn't there, who are seen running with stuff.
Yes. And they just gun them down.
They gun them down. They think it's the demolitions, but actually it's just
it's literally their
personal possessions.
Yeah. They're just trying to run away with their own belongings.
Yeah. But that's all part of the confusion and the shock of the arrival of these soldiers.
They're completely leaderless, and actually, subsequent to the firefight here, 2 sedans then turn up,
right,
with officers in,
right, looking for something to command.
Yeah, and they're gunned down as well.
Yeah. But once they've taken control of the flat tower there, that flat gun is then brought in support of the assault the other end of the bridge, isn't it? They're able to.
Well, they use it. They don't have to use it, in fact. But yes.
Right.
And there's the bridge, so you can get onto the bridge. But the point is that the temptation is just charge the bridge.
Yeah.
But actually, what you need to do is you need to get rid of the kind of protection around it first. And what you really need to do, more than anything else, is secure this road from the south. That is what Easy Company have got to do.
Yeah.
Securing the road from the north, that's the job of the 1st Battalion of the 504th. Or Company F or whatever.
There's this. There's a chrome parachute in commemoration.
No, actually, it is the second. It is the second. Yeah. It's the 2nd Battalion still. It's Willem's lot, but it's Company F,
right,
which are in charge of.
There we go, John S. Thompson Brugge.
Yeah, there you are. Yeah, across 11 C-47 Sky trains. Just E Company. Yeah.
With 15 men, Lieutenant Thompson achieved what had been assigned to an entire company. Bridge number 11 is ours. And it was unveiled by his wife, this memorial unveiled by his wife, Phyllis Thompson, Mrs. Phyllis Thompson, in 2004, 17th September 2004.
Isn't that fantastic?
That's cool.
It's even got a little V for victory. Loving it. And here's the road. And actually, I think the interesting thing, now look at it, you got this bend in the road. I mean, that's how you do the ambush, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Because they're coming around the corner. So I love this because there's the bunker. The bunker is looking down the bridge. It's not looking back at where they're coming from.
Yeah, yeah.
So they can run across this before the guys in there even know what's coming.
Yeah.
Sergeant Roy Tidd gets up here, lobs his grenades in through there. That's that one sorted out.
Yeah.
2 motorbikes go straight past. He's barely, you know, they've gone past him before he's even realised it. But then he kind of goes, right. 2 trucks come around the corner, bam.
But there's spang on the bunker.
Yeah, there is.
Marks on the bunker.
Yep. Amazing, isn't it?
Yeah.
You can see how it all unfolds.
Which one is one of these emplacements is fixed to the bazooka, isn't it? Someone fires a bazooka through the
Oh,
street.
yeah, no, that's on that one.
That's on the
that's on that one. Yeah. Yeah, Robert McGaw. Private Robert McGaw. He fires 2 bazooka rounds. First one doesn't hit, the second one knocks it out.
Yeah.
Yeah. From going across the ditch. So he goes across the water ditch. Or is it a culvert?
It's a ditch.
It's a ditch. But it's amazing because when you're here, you suddenly can see how it all unfolds.
Yeah.
But really, really very intense, high drama action. And what that means is that Company F are coming from the other side, they get it, and the whole thing is secured by 3 o'clock.
Yeah,
but the whole thing's secured by 5.
Officially 5 o'clock
is
when
whole
the bridge
thing.
is taken.
And you've got men either side of here guarding the bridge, got them in charge of that bunker, bish bash bosh, done. And that is one massive tick for the 82nd Airborne, and particularly for the 504th.
They get that right.
Yep, and all the bridges are numbered.
Right, so that's how to capture the longest bridge in Europe.
Bridge number 11, done.
Yeah.
And there it is. You know, there's the bridge, and it's the same bridge it was in 1944.
Yeah.
Because it was never blown up.
Yeah, because it wasn't blown up. But some of them were.
Yes.
And you have to defuse a bridge. So let's go to bridge number 7 to find out how to defuse a bridge.
Yes, which is ready to blow.
Which is ready to blow, which is over that way. We're around the corner on the river. Yeah.
Yeah,
okay.
all right. Back to the car.
Let's do it.
So the action to take the Heumen Bridge, bridge number 7, ends up being a tougher nut to crack than the Grave Bridge.
The Gravy Bridge.
Than the Gravy Bridge. But it starts here. And what's amazing about this, as soon as you get here, you just go, yeah, of course.
Well, look, I mean,
of course this is drop zone O.
You're an air planner. You're an air planner back in England somewhere.
You're scanning a map, you're scanning aerial photographs.
Night, you've got your coffee, your cigarette on, and you think, I just need a really wide open space. We've got these, what we want is the sticks to land together and neatly, and the gliders to be able to come in.
We're going to do it daytime so everyone can see.
Daytime so everyone can see what they're doing, and they need to be near enough to bridges, and I mean, it's just sort of blindingly obvious, isn't it? And this is actually a thing we'll when we get to Arnhem, we'll come to when we talk about the landing and drop zones there. It's like, you kind of think, you know, if what you're trying to do is deliver a lot of people coherently, look at it, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
It's flat as well. If you're landing gliders, it's flat and it's big enough. You can get a run in, you know, it's not like the fields in Sicily, which are all divided up, tiny little fields with stone walls. Jesus Christ. No, you can vector in nicely along here.
You absolutely can. I mean, it's just perfect, isn't it?
What's not to like?
No, absolutely nothing not to like. And of course, the power cables wouldn't have been there, so you don't have that extra hazard, potential hazard, to worry about. So, again, it's the same principle that Wellham has with his 2nd Battalion of the 504th, the same with the 1st Battalion, who are given the job of capturing bridge number 7 and bridge number 8.
Yep.
And
because the thing about the 82nd Airborne plan is there's a redundancy built in, because some of these bridges duplicate.
You only need one. You only need one over the Marsval Canal.
Yeah.
So they send loads off to lots of different ones. But it is the 1st Battalion we're given the job of the Blankenberg Bridge, which is number 8, and the bridge number 7, which is the Heumen Bridge. But they've got to get here first. So again, it's a major in charge of the 1st Battalion, not a lieutenant colonel. Okay, a new guy, only newly put in charge, a guy called Major Willard E. Harrison. Willard E. Harrison. My name is Willard E. Harrison. Anyway, he has identified a windmill at the far end of here. And he goes, right, okay.
I mean, again, there we are. We're here again. He's looking
Yeah.
for a windmill.
If you want a meeting point, if you want a mustering point, look no further than a windmill. It's a cliche, but let's just do it. Go with it. So anyway, so he finds us this windmill, and he basically says, right, as soon as you land, just head for it.
Go for the windmill.
Get rid of your excess baggage,
Yeah.
excess weighted stuff. This is all about being quick, surprise.
Yeah.
We're going to just jump these bridges.
Yeah.
So we're going to send different companies into different bridges, and I want you to just check in at the windmill and then just go. Yeah. Don't wait.
Yeah.
Get on with it.
Yeah.
And then what happens at the Heumen Bridge?
Well, let's get on with it.
Let's get on with it. Come on, let's be like Willard Harrison.
We're
Let's
standing
just
around,
do it. Come
standing
on.
around forming up.
Yeah.
Cracking
just
on.
Go.
The lesson is just go.
So this is one of these places where walking the ground really, really counts, because the only real kind of evidence we got of this is the after-action report written by Captain Thomas B. Helgeson,
Right.
who is a commander of Beaker Company.
Okay.
So B Company given this one, C Company given Blankenberg Ridge, which is bridge number 8.
And they call this the Mullenhook Bridge.
Mullenhook Bridge, or the Heumen Bridge, is bridge
7.
number 7.
Yeah.
And obviously this is an area that sort of, there's lots of things which are still here, like this building, I'm pretty certain that was there in 1944, but there's lots as well. This avenue of oaks, absolutely there, but all that housing that we've just driven through, not there.
I mean, that's a hamlet at the time. I mean, this is the thing about so much of here. It's been built on since.
Yeah.
I mean, it's 80 years ago. Of course, it has.
Yes.
You know, and all of the settlements around here, they tend to be referring to hamlets if they're naming places at all.
Yeah.
Rather than. I mean, we've just come through a village proper.
Yep.
But none of that was there. We also did pass an enormous windmill on the way, which
maybe that was the windmill.
Maybe that's the windmill.
Maybe that's
the rendezvous windmill.
Yeah. Maybe it is that Willard Harrison suggests that they all should kind of muster at. But anyway, what Helgeson decides is that he gets he's got the bulk of his company here, because also the other thing is that they're all landing together on Drop Zone O. There's none of this kind of
just go
ahead. You know, they're all pretty much together. So they're hitting that windmill, checking in, dropping their heavy kit, and then moving out straight away.
Yeah.
But actually, it's quite it's a mile or two. It's a couple of miles from the drop zone.
Yes,
so that gives you the chance for everyone to kind of bunch up.
Yeah.
They know that the bridge is at the end of this thing, but the end of this avenue of oak trees. Then there's this kink. So that gives you the opportunity to charge it. So what he says is, right, what we're going to do is we're going to have the benefit of survived. We're going to get up to there until they, so they can't see us. Then the moment that we come around this corner, we're just going to charge the bridge.
Hell for leather, yeah.
What happens though is they get attacked from here. Right. They take that out and then they charge on, but there's a blockhouse. The Germans then pull back. What Germans there are, pull back to a blockhouse on the island.
Are we looking
But this is where it gets confusing, because we're on an island now.
Yeah.
But there's another island behind, and I think the island they're referring to has to be
the other one.
That one, because this is a whole complicated lock system.
Right. Are we talking a couple of dozen Germans again, like at the
No, I
Bridge?
think probably, a couple of dozen Germans, something like that.
You see, because this is the thing, is that.
But I don't 100% know that this was here. But that looks period enough to me.
Age of Pro, the brick looks old enough.
And he talks about charging it and getting to within 200 yards where they get stopped. So that's about 200 yards, that corner, isn't it?
Now, Jim, the bridge itself isn't here anymore, though, is it?
No.
There's a new road bridge.
This is now a road to nowhere.
Meters further up. And this is, as you say, a road to nowhere.
Yeah. So this is why it's difficult to know 100. We know that the bridge was here. So that's that.
Yeah.
But where we are now is an island. But I think when he's talking about the island, I think he's talking about that one, which is between.
Which is a sliver of land between which part of the lock system, part of the block system.
It's a double lock system. So conveniently, a barge is just arriving, which is presumably about to go into the far side of the island onto the westbound lock.
But crucially,
no, we're in the west. This is the west side, isn't it?
Yeah, but crucially, the bridge is set to blow, right?
The bridge is set to blow.
So they take it, but it's set to blow.
Yeah, well, what happens is, because the Germans have retreated to the blockhouse, which has to be, I think, on that island there in front of us. Yeah. And when we get to the edge of the lock, you'll absolutely see what I'm talking about. Under cover of fire, combat engineers, are able to creep forward and cut the wires to the explosives.
Right.
Under the bridge.
Right.
Because they found them really quickly.
So
it's kind of, well, Helgeson is worried the whole time that they haven't cut the right wire. So the whole afternoon, they're expecting the bridge to, or he's expecting the bridge to blow. Okay, so now you can see absolutely clearly. There you are. There's the bridge.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what he's worried about.
So this is a moving bridge. This is a bridge that comes up and goes down, right?
Yeah.
So,
but here's the lock.
Yeah.
But there's another lock on the other side.
Yeah. So you're saying the blockhouse is on this finger of land here.
I think it's on this. It has to be, because that is. This is an island, but that is really an island, isn't it? You could be forgiven for thinking that this isn't an island.
Well, I mean, you pointing.
And it's not an island; it's actually a finger.
You pointing that out has made that clear. But what we're looking at is a bridge to let shipping through, right? Because
but it's got to be a double bridge, right?
Yeah.
Because there's two locks here.
Yeah.
There's a lock going in and there's a lock going out.
Yeah.
So the engineers might have got to the wires here and cut them. So that's that bit saved. Okay, that's better than nothing.
Yeah.
But you've still got the other half. So what he's trying to do the whole of that afternoon, the Germans are retreating there. They can't quite pin them down. They've obviously got plenty of ammo, so they keep firing back. He keeps trying to get his men to infiltrate. Yeah. Now, how do you can't infiltrate? That's not going to happen. It's too wide. It's too deep. It's just that is not going to happen. Yeah. But you could get over there.
Yeah.
And you could get onto this bit of the island, and then you could
enfilade them from there. Yeah.
But you could enfilade them, but you're not going to get into this lock and up the other side, are you? Maybe you are down the.
Yeah, I think that's going to be quite difficult.
I think that's going to be quite difficult.
Unless you can get the gates closed, because there are lock gates.
So that's the problem.
Up.
So while the Germans are on the island, you've got a problem. So this firefight continues all afternoon. It's not until it gets dark that he's finally able to get men across to the other side and attack from the other side.
Right.
And it's the double pincer. If you want to take a bridge, take it from both ends. That's the rule.
Yeah.
And that's what enables them to take it at around 8 p.m. that evening.
But we're thinking, so this is we're on the route of the bridge right here.
Yeah.
So the blockhouse is going to be where that solar panel is, probably.
Probably. Yeah, something like that.
Because there doesn't seem to be.
But this is my point. So we've got Helgeson's report, after action report. We've got what we can see in front of us. We now have to apply what we know Helgeson said happened with what is in front of us, and then our best guess of making sense of the land. Yeah. But again, it's only because we're here that we can see that crossing the Rhine, the Mars-Waal Canal over there
on the west,
that's not an option. Yeah. It's too wide. Here you possibly could. Maybe there's a little footbridge up the other end he doesn't mention.
Well, if the lock gates are closed, because after all, this is a fully functioning lock. So
you can clamber across the lock.
If you lock,
or maybe you can lock the lock gates.
Yeah.
But you could see how you could infiltrate up there and get onto the other side, don't you? Can't you? It's amazing.
But the point is, they don't need this bridge.
No, they do need this bridge.
Oh, right.
They do need this bridge.
So this is the one they do need.
Well, they need one of 4 along the Mars-Waal Canal. Okay, So it can be this one, it can be the Blankenberg, it can be the Beer Bosch, it can be, or the Near Bosch rather, and it can be I can't remember what the other one's called. It can be one of 4. All the other 3 are blown.
Right.
So the Blankenberg is blown.
So
this is the only one.
So this is important.
This is super vital.
Right.
What I would say about this, though, is that this is comparatively easy to bridge with a Bailey bridge. You know, this wouldn't necessarily take a huge amount of time.
No, it wouldn't.
But a hell of a lot easier if you don't have to bother.
Well, a hell of easier if you don't have to bother, because after all, you are what, 45 miles from the bottom of the corridor.
Yeah.
The 30 Corps coming up. So any bridging equipment's got to come up that single road.
Yep.
Scores of lorries. Required for to bridge this span here.
So if you don't have to.
So if you don't have to, you don't want to have to. Is the point.
Yep.
So they're spared another logistic snarl up there, aren't they?
Yeah. It's a great action, and it's interesting, isn't it? Because this looks quite poxy compared to the Grave Bridge. Yeah. You know, it's kind of, what's the big deal? But it ends up being this much tougher fight that doesn't get reduced till 8 o'clock at night. Yeah. But this is what I absolutely love about walking the ground, because I really like coming to a place, you've got an eyewitness account, you've got a landscape that has changed enough.
Yeah.
In the intervening 80 years,
to offer
and
a
you've
puzzle,
got to, and you've got to offer a puzzle, and you've got to try and make sense of it. And nearly always, I think the most obvious likely route through is probably what happened.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I think that is what is going on here. It's just fascinating.
And he'll have written that report, maybe last thing at night that day, exhausted,
or a couple of days later,
or the following week.
Yeah.
You know, once things have calmed down.
Yeah.
So it's as fresh as you can make it, but
at the same time, remember, you've been there.
Yeah.
You know, Helgeson has been there.
Yeah, yeah.
He knows what. So he hasn't got someone going, yeah, but hang on a minute, can you just clarify that point?
Yeah,
And can
yeah.
you just sort of make clear this? Because I don't understand, which bit of the island are you talking about?
well, and also
here?
in a way, it doesn't matter. It's
Doesn't
happened.
matter.
It's over.
It's
with.
happened, it's done.
It's done. They took the bridge, whatever.
Yeah, great, well done.
Yeah. Now, the other thing we need to talk about, though, is the man in charge of all this.
Yeah.
Right, because we've done the individual little actions, the bridges being taken, the guy in charge, jumping Jim Gavin.
Yeah.
And so we're gonna go to the Groesbeek Heights. We're gonna look at his command post, and we're gonna talk about how to command an airborne division with a broken back.
Yep.
Let's do it.
So, can you imagine?
Well, before we even start, why am I wearing my shades? Because they're cool, because I want to be as cool as James Gavin. James Maurice Gavin, the coolest general in the US Army.
Yeah.
He's
Arguably the coolest general.
arguably the coolest general, right? How cool is he, Jim?
Yeah,
well,
he's like so cool.
well, he's born illegitimate. He's adopted. His adopted parents don't want him to join the army, so he says he's an orphan. He joins the army. He works his way, as a grunt, works his way to pass the exam to get into West Point.
Does so illegally, doesn't he?
Yeah. Lies about his age again because he wants to be a soldier. And he's an absolute, he's a born warrior guy. And he's the bloke who writes the book about airborne landings for the Americans.
He's also an intellectual.
Yeah.
He's an intellectual. He's a self-educated, and it's amazing because you can go and look at all his papers are at the United States Army Heritage and Education Centre at Carlisle, which is the War College there. And you can see all his books and his diaries and the original handwritten stuff. He's got this one book of quotes from generals and commanders about warfare.
Right.
All the way back from Julius Caesar and Alexander the Great.
We're making him sound like a bit of a nerd right now. He's cool though, right?
No, he's really cool.
He's really cool.
He's really cool.
And
he sleeps with Lee Miller. He sleeps with Marlena Dietrich.
Oh my goodness.
He's not just jumping Jim time. He's jumping in and out of bed.
Right, okay.
Jim
So
Gavin.
he might jump you. Jumping Jim Gavin might jump you, is what you're saying.
Basically.
But the critical thing is here, Market Garden on D-Day. When he lands, when he comes in, feet knees together, elbows in. Although the parachute landing fall is a British thing with a quick release chute. The Americans don't have that. He breaks his back. But he's cracked his vertebrae. He's landed here, and this is drop zone T, right? And DZT, and that tree line there.
It's the Reichsfeld.
It's
the deep dark wood.
It's the fatherland.
It's the fatherland.
It's Germany. We are this close to Germany.
Yeah, it's not even 3 miles.
It's the 4,000 metres. Again, I measured it in Google Earth because that's the other thing about. One of the things we've got at our disposal is the technology to just double check, but that's 4,000 metres away. And the German border is just there. When I came in the 80s with my dad, we took a wrong turn. We ended up in Germany, in the high car. And that's entirely possible here.
Yeah.
Boy Browning, when he lands, Lieutenant General Frederick Browning, who's insisted on bringing his Corps headquarters with him.
Yep. 38 gliders.
38 gliders, part of 1st Airborne's allocation of horses. He brings them here. The first thing he does once he's landed, brought in by George Chatterton, who's the commanding officer of the Glider Pilot Regiment, he goes for a slash. He goes to take a slash on German soil. The first British officer to urinate upon German soil. So he's got his priorities all sorted. But basically, Gavin lands here. The bridge is that way. Well, Nijmegen bridge is that way.
Well,
but so let's get into the complexity there. Here.
Okay. So this is drop zone T. This is where Gavin lands, but it's also where the 508th Parachute Infantry Regiment under Lieutenant Colonel Lindquist.
Yeah.
Roy Lindquist lands here. Over there is drop zone N, which is 505th. Then you have drop zone O, which we've already been to, which is where the 504th is. 504th,
between Grave and Heumen.
505th, 508th. Those are your 3 parachute infantry regiments of the 82nd Airborne.
Yeah.
So there's then going to be a second lift.
Tomorrow,
Monday the 18th of September.
Glider infantry,
and they're going to come in here.
Yeah.
So you've got to hold this. But over there is the deep dark wood.
Yeah.
Okay, and that is Germany.
Yeah.
And I think for understandable reasons, Gavin gets a little bit paranoid about what might come out of there.
Yeah.
Now, he doesn't, the intelligence on what German troops are around here is patchy because this has been put together very quickly. They know there's a 2 SS Panzer Corps in the area. They know there's some Fallschirmjäger.
They know which headquarters are here. This is the thing. This is the signal imprints they're getting, the ultra decrypts they're getting. Tell them which headquarters are in town, but not really that much about their strength.
No.
Certainly not about their mobilisation, and certainly not about how willing they are to fight.
No, and they don't know what's lurking in the Reichswald.
Yeah.
And the problem is with the Reichswald is it is less than 3 miles away, and there's lots of woods. So if anything's in there, they can't see it.
I mean, his issue here, though, is that you need this high ground. I can completely see the argument why, particularly if you want to see what's coming from here.
Yeah.
But his real problem is because of the additional lift, he has to defend this clear ground here.
Exactly.
If it weren't for the second lift, he'd better shorten his lines and he'd be sitting on that and he'd better prioritise the bridge properly.
Yeah, you wouldn't need any troops down here
Wouldn't
at all.
need anyone down here. But
over there is a deep dark wood.
Yeah.
You don't know what's lurking in it.
No.
It might be nothing, but there might be lots of panzers.
Yeah.
And that is an unknowable threat. So you have to kind of prepare for kind of worst case scenario or kind of bad case scenario.
Yeah. What is the actual scenario?
Well, the actual scenario is that there you've got Wehrkreis 6. And this is a kind of sort of 4th level, 4th grade, cruddy home defence unit, which has been hastily formed into Corps Felt. After General Lieutenant Felt, who's a kind of sort of aging, washed-up general who's fit for nothing more than...
And they've been digging trenches and...
Yeah, but Corps Felt is divided into 2 divisions, and the only division that's in this area is 406th.
Yeah.
6,669 men.
Right.
That's all it is. 9 makeshift battalions. They've literally got a handful of guns, a couple of SPs, that's self-propelled artillery pieces, and that's it. And they're designed entirely to do home defence stuff.
Yeah.
So this is building bunkers, building ditches, laying a few mines, that kind of thing. Nothing more than that. Now, some of them, one of those battalions, those understrength battalions, is in Nijmegen.
Right.
But that's it. I mean, total troops in Nijmegen on the afternoon of 17th of September, Sunday the 17th, D-Day for Market Garden, 750, maybe 700, something like that. Not a lot. But Gavin doesn't 100% know that.
Yeah.
And he doesn't know that the threat from the
But what he does know is he has
Reichswald.
to protect his landing zones.
But he has to protect
He has to protect his landing zones. So whatever's there...
But also he's got this prioritisation. He's got to get the Grave Bridge.
Yeah.
So that getting the Grave Bridge and at least one bridge over the Maas-Waal Canal, that is at least 1 parachute infantry regiment. So he's got 2 more.
Yeah.
Which he's got to split up, and he's got to use those 2 more to protect roads, hold the Groesbeek Heights, hold this in, and take the road
main
bridge.
road bridge at Nijmegen.
But what we're going to do now is go and visit his command post, because I've got a map which pinpoints exactly where he had his command post, and I've superimposed that onto Google Earth.
And you found it?
And we found it.
Brilliant.
So let's go and check that out.
Let's go and have a look.
And then consider the other dilemmas that he's got and how he gets around them.
Which are multiple.
So we come up to the Groesbeek Heights.
Yeah.
This is the main road that leads to Groesbeek from Nijmegen.
Yeah,
which we can hear.
and that road runs all the way back down to the LZ, DZ we were on, DZO.
But
DZT.
Yeah, exactly. But Gavin is pretty. I mean, not only does he fracture his back, he also nearly gets taken out on he lands, because they almost land on top of a German machine gun post.
Right.
And he's saved by his Dutch liaison officer, who's a Jedbra, which are these 3-man teams that drop in behind enemy lines.
Yes.
Called Captain Arie Dirk Besterbroodje. And Besterbroodje saves his life twice.
Yeah.
Anyway, the reason we come
he's
down
there
here,
to liaise with the resistance, with the Dutch resistance, and offer local advice.
Local advice and local knowledge.
There's a Jedbra team in Arnhem as well, and there's one here, and there's one in Eindhoven.
Exactly that.
It's part of the way things are set up.
So I know this all seems a bit unlikely, but the reason we're here is you will remember this. You and I have been here before.
Yeah.
This is Gavin's command post. And we know Jim, this is Gavin's command post.
You know this because you know, if
because it's marked on a period map.
Yeah.
Which you can then superimpose or compare with Google Earth.
Right, Google Earth. Right.
I actually had it just by that tree over there, but actually it's clearly here, because here you can't really see in 2D, but here are groundworks. This is clearly man-made. This is a ditch here, and there's another one on the other side. which is just here. So in and around here was the command post of the 82nd Airborne
And we're
Division.
talking his staff. So
Yes.
it's his radios, it's his comms,
Yep.
it's his liaison people.
Yep.
It's it'll be tented, it'll be properly tucked away and
Camouflage netting, all that kind of
the
stuff.
whole thing.
And the reason you have it here is because the gap in this line is actually quite narrow between the road and just through there you can just sense it.
Yes,
there's a massive railway cutting.
Yeah.
So you're protected on that side.
Yeah, yeah.
No one's going to attack you on your flank.
Yeah.
And you've got access with the road just there.
Yeah.
And you're out of the way, you've got trees above you, no one can see you. What's
And
not
it's
to
his
like?
centre of gravity, isn't it? Because
the centre of gravity.
because the Reisfeld is that way with the LZs and DZs that way, and his main objective, the road bridge is over this way.
Yep.
And also command of the high ground means he can see he can look over his shoulder at the Reisfeld. As we said earlier, his problem is he's also got to defend those landing and drop zones.
Yep.
But also over there, just over there, the crest of this hill is the prize of Nijmegen.
The Nijmegen Road Bridge.
Yeah.
So what he's got on the end of day one,
Yeah.
D+1, what he's got is he's got the Grave Bridge, he's got the Heumen Bridge,
Yeah.
you know, bridge number 7.
Moby, yeah.
Over, yeah, exactly. So he's got that, that's tick, tick. He's secured his drop zone over there, drop zone T and N,
Yeah.
and O is still in play.
Yeah.
So he's got that, but what are the 508th doing? Well, the 508th have been told to secure the heights,
Yeah.
which they've done pretty
Yeah.
much. There's some jitter raids in the night from kind of frisky
Yeah.
406th Infantry Division, German 406th Infantry Division types, and running around in the night, sowing confusion and not knowing quite what's going on. But basically, they hold this ground. What he's told Lindqvist, who is the commander of the 508th, is then go and capture the.
Well, what he's told him that the night before. In fact,
He told him the night before.
He said he says your most important task, once you clear the landing zones, is to take the road bridge. Lindqvist interprets that as you've got to do your landing zone tasks first, and then you go to the bridge. And on the evening of the 17th, Gavin says, no, go get there as quick as you can.
As you can.
And tells him which way to go as well.
And he tells them which way to go, which is to go from the east, and that's where we're going to go now. We're going to look at where Gavin reckons the best route in to capture the bridge is.
Yeah. I mean, it's interesting, isn't it? Because he's spinning a lot of plates, and a lot of them are derived from the fact that there are more guys arriving tomorrow.
Yeah.
And if he weren't having to guard his landing zones, certainly not the ones that are out sort of out his sort of back flap out that way.
Yeah.
Because his focus is here, isn't it? You've got the Grave bridges. There's another two bridges in that direction, and Nijmegen that way.
But also, your divisional commander, your job is to have an oversight of the whole thing. You allocate tasks, and you ensure they're completed. But you can't, on day one, you can't be everywhere all the time.
No.
You've got to be the coordinator. You've got to be the focus point. You've got to be the centre of gravity.
I mean, actually, one of the things
you have to trust your commanding officers to go and do what they need to do.
One of the things you have to do is wait and let those things play out and see where you are by the end of the day. Actually, if you start micromanaging straight away, which is what herioc does in Arnhem, things can come unstuck.
Yeah.
Or you can just get in people's way. So let's go and look at where he thinks they ought to go.
Okay.
And then let's maybe end up where they actually end up going.
Yeah. So anyway,
This is cool though, I'll be honest with you, Jim, right? If it weren't me, it'd be someone taking your word for it that this is his command post. I mean, it's like a wood. There's some scrub.
No.
There's some bracken.
You can see,
There's
that's
some
really
bracken,
clearly
there's some brambles.
No, that's been dug out. That's been dug out.
Come on, let's go find the route to the bridge.
But we have now done what it's like commanding an airborne division with a broken back.
Absolutely.
What we now need to look at is why they didn't win the war by Christmas.
Yeah, okay. Right, so Jim, this is an unexpected place to have come because after all, nothing happens here.
Well, the reason I'm here is because I'm so frustrated.
Right.
I'm frustrated about what could and what should have been. Over there, the Groesbeek Heights.
Yeah. Over there,
the edge of Nijmegen, and there's the freaking road
There's the
bridge.
bridge, yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Okay, and in behind here, I can't really see a huge amount, can you?
Well, it's flat. There's
flat.
There's the odd barn. There's the odd dike. I mean,
Okay,
like the
this
one we're
dike here,
standing on.
Yeah.
Which is an obstacle. But it's not a town.
General Jim Gavin.
Yeah.
What he says to
Jumping
Lindqvist-
Jim Gavin.
Jumping Jim Gavin.
Coolest general in the American Army.
Ever.
Probably ever. The coolest general ever. Yeah.
Okay, he says to Lindqvist, who is the commanding officer.
Who's not the coolest colonel ever.
He so isn't. He's literally the deepest uncle, most uncle.
He's a brilliant staff officer, right? But
Yeah. Good as an XO, second in command, but not an action man, not a combat leader. He says to Lindqvist, who is the commander of the 508th Parachute Infantry Regiment, the 3rd Parachute Infantry Regiment of the 82nd Airborne Division, he says to him, go and get the bridge first night as soon as you possibly can.
Yeah.
Get it from the east.
Yeah.
Okay, this is looking east. And he says, the reason you want to do that is because the bridge is on the east of the town. Then you don't have to fight through the town.
Yeah.
And as anyone in the military knows, you never want to get involved in fighting in a built-up area.
If there's a way of not doing it, don't do it.
There it is. Okay, can you see lots of urban built-up structures between us and the bridge?
No. So what does Lindqvist actually do? Does he send a patrol? Does he send? Yes,
he sends men in, but I think it's fair to say he doesn't send them from here. He sends them from a different route.
Right. You see,
a route that makes life a little bit more complicated.
So much of the chat about Market Garden, so much of the ink spilt about Market Garden gets very much hung up on what goes wrong in Arnhem. How 1st Parachute Brigade don't make it en masse to the bridge, and it's elements of 2 Para and other bits and pieces.
Blah,
but they get to the bridge.
Yeah.
They get to the bridge and then they hold it for 4 days.
Yeah.
Best part of. Right?
But it's fair to say that this is a very, very clear route for anyone wanting to attack on day 1, D-Day, Sunday the 17th of September. As Gavin predicted, this is your route in. Now, Lindqvist hasn't been here before. None of his men have been here before, but nor's Jim Gavin.
Yeah.
And so what's Jim Gavin done? He's looked at maps. He's looked at aerial photographs. Those are accessible to Lindqvist and his team and his staff on the 508th. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to work out that is your best route to the bridge.
Why is Lindqvist, does he think he's done enough for the day? Does he lack the urgency? Is he not just...
No, it's because they're on the heights and they're coming down off the heights that way into the southern part of the town and they're holding key roadblocks. So he goes, well, they're already here, let's just send them up through that way.
Right, okay. Because after all, if you come this way, you won't get stuck in the town. And the last thing you want to do is get stuck in the town.
Yeah, it's hopeless, isn't it? It's absolutely hopeless. This is a Kaiser Carroll plane. This is a kind of roundabout that was there in 1944. They've come from that direction, from the south.
Yeah.
So what has happened? So let's go back a little bit.
Yeah.
So Gavin says, get the bridge without delay.
Yeah.
That's his orders to Lindqvist.
Yeah.
Lindqvist says, I don't remember it like that. I remember it as, he told me to get the bridge, but get my other objectives first.
Yeah,
one of the objectives that the 508 goes for is the near Bosch Bridge, which is over that way to the west.
Yeah.
And they've already got the Heumen Bridge. They've got number 7. They don't need it.
Yeah.
Okay, so think on your feet, use your initiative. Even if he had said to secure your other objectives, that is an objective that is no longer required.
Yeah,
and also useful to have, but it's not essential.
Also, the idea that this last bridge over the Waal isn't important.
Literally the most important thing now that you've got the Graaf Bridge and you've got the Heumen Bridge.
Yeah.
Okay, so the bottom line is all those other objectives, great. If you don't hold on to them, if you don't hold on to the second drop zone, for the second lift on drop zone T, you might fail on the mission, but if you don't get across the Nijmegen Bridge, the mission will fail.
The whole thing's failed.
The whole thing's failed.
Done.
And the bottom line is we've seen that route that Gavin says. Gavin says, forget about priority of objectives. Gavin has said, get to the bridge and use this route, approach from the east.
Yeah.
Now we know that they've secured, the 508 have also secured the little town of Beek, which is just off the Groesbeek heights, that northern bit of the Groesbeek heights.
Yeah.
So just a stone's throw from where we were standing.
I mean, they've been given a lot to do, is the truth, haven't they?
They have, but okay, what you want to do, if you've been given a lot to do, you want to make your life as easy as possible. So that means your objectives, you want to capture your objectives with the easiest possible means.
Yeah.
The easiest way to get to the road bridge is from over there.
Yes, to swing round the right.
Swing round because the eastern edge of the road bridge marks the eastern edge of the town. There is no town beyond the bridge, so attack it where you haven't got to fight through it. Otherwise, you've got to fight through this. And what does happen is that Lindqvist gives the task of taking the bridge to Lieutenant Colonel Shields Warren.
Yeah.
Shields Warren is the commanding officer of the 1st Battalion of the 508th. And he sends in a patrol and some reconnaissance and some INR people, some intelligence and reconnaissance people. So a handful of men, 24 men or something like that, at 6:30.
Yeah.
They get in and they hook up with the Dutch resistance.
Yeah.
And the Dutch resistance goes, oh great, it's only 18 men, Germans, holding the bridge.
Because a load of Germans have left, haven't they?
2 train loads have left.
Yeah.
So the Dutch resistance say there are 18 Germans holding the bridge on the southern side.
Yeah.
But Shields Warren doesn't get that message. Their radio's dis.
Yeah.
So he doesn't hear back from the patrol, so instead he goes, okay, let's send in A company and B company, and we'll have C company in reserve, off you go. But he sends them in from the south of the town, not from the east of the town.
And they get bogged down in the town.
So what happens is B company gets lost.
Yeah.
There's supposed to be some Dutch guys to guide them.
Yeah.
But they don't rendezvous.
Yeah.
So they're where and they hang around going, where the hell's B company?
Yeah.
Eventually they go, well, we better crack on. So they push in. They reach the Kaiser-Kallo plain at around 10 o'clock that night.
Which is dark. This roundabout.
Yep. And at that moment, a machine gun bursts out.
From up there, from up the road up there.
Yep, as they're coming around here. And they go, oh dear.
And the light's failing.
Light's faded, light's gone.
So it's night time. So you can see, and they've been at it all day and all this, but basically that burst of machine gun fire is why the war doesn't end before Christmas 1944.
Yeah. So Gavin then says, okay, right, you haven't got in, you've taken the wrong route, whatever, it's happened, let's reconvene, tomorrow morning we'll send in another one. So he then sends in Company G the following morning, and they don't get very far. So then Gavin plans a further assault that afternoon. Yeah. By which time the first SS troops are starting to arrive.
Yeah.
The other thing, on night one, they hear sounds of trucks and troops crawling up. And what is most likely that they heard was the reconnaissance battalion of, I think, is it 10 SS or 9 SS?
Grosbeek.
Yeah, anyway. He sees reconnaissance vehicles, but they turn around again.
Yeah, they go back to Arnhem, and attack in Arnhem the following morning.
Yeah. So already, troops are starting to arrive, a bit more troops are starting to arrive by the following day. D+1.
Yeah.
But then Browning vetoes it.
Yeah. Well, quite why? I mean, he's not made any decisions up to this point, so maybe he's feeling he needs to make a decision.
Well, maybe. And there's no question that they are being attacked by the 406th Useless Division from the Reichswald, and they have a bit of a fight to secure drop zone T, which they do by 2:15, and literally 15 minutes later, the first gliders land. So the second lift, you're right, is an absolute curse. But the bottom line is, they should have taken the bridge on D-Day, on Sunday the 17th of September, and saved themselves a whole load of hassle, saved the entire operation, and ensured that actually the war did end before Christmas.
I mean, the thing is the thing to emphasise about, you come in a built-up area,
it's a nightmare.
Was the possibility that you've got to clear every single room in every single block.
Yes.
As you progress to where you're going. So, and every corner is a potential site for an ambush. Wide open streets are easy to fix machine gun lines down. Corners are easy to sight guns on. The whole thing is so much more of a challenge, particularly for infantry without armour. And that's what we're talking about.
That is what we're talking about.
Yeah.
And just think about where we are. Okay, so we're now in peacetime. There's lots of cars. It's 80 years on. There's lots of bicycles and lots of cars where there wouldn't have been in 1944. But just look at the landscape.
Yeah.
Look at the environment, and then think back to where we were the start of this little episode. That beautiful open ground where you can exactly see what's what.
Yeah.
And then think of this.
So if you don't take the bridge on D-Day, you don't take the bridge on D+1, you don't take the bridge on D+2.
Well, you don't, because 30 Corps finally make contact across the Graaf Bridge early on the morning of the 19th.
Yeah.
But by that point, they've got to wait for everyone else to catch up. And also, they're suddenly realising that by now there are lots and lots of German troops in Nijmegen, where there weren't on the 17th.
Yeah.
The SS, the 10th SS, and some reinforcements of the 9th SS have shown up. They're now blocking both ends of both ridges, fixing up their fields of fire.
Yeah.
There is a major fight around here. There's major fighting all the way up to the edge of the bridge. And it's not until the afternoon of the 20th that it's finally cleared. And it's only cleared then with a combination of an all-out effort by the 82nd Airborne and large numbers of 30 Corps, the Guards Armoured.
And that's what we're going to look at next.
Okay, I've got something profound for you.
Oh, watch out.
Yeah. Doesn't matter what stage of the war you're at, if you're the Allies, it's tougher fighting against Waffen SS troops than it is old men and teenagers.
Yeah. And there may be no old men and teenagers here on Sunday and into Monday. Yeah. But this is, you know, the element of surprise wore off quite a long time ago.
Yeah, it has by D+1, by D+2.
Certainly by D+2. And the Germans are organised and coagulating, as it were, around where they think the problems are. And
they're regaining their balance.
Exactly, they're regaining their balance. And the Waffen SS, because one of the things that when people talk about Market Garden a lot, they say, well, you know, they did a lot of anti-airborne training, right?
Yeah, that doesn't add up to a hell of beans.
Well, no, also because this isn't anti-airborne by now. This is just fighting.
This is just fighting in a town.
It doesn't matter who it is. Also, 30 Corps are here, so it's not like you're fighting parachutists.
No.
In particular. You know, the parachuting novelty, you know, wears off for both sides quite quickly.
Yeah, and I think the really interesting point is that, you know, 9th and 10th SS get pretty much destroyed in Normandy, but they're already starting to kind of rebuild.
Yeah.
And the bottom line is they've got enough guys in them who are experienced, who can drive people forward.
And what you do get stiffeners.
Yes.
Stiffeners.
Right, exactly. The point is although they're not all volunteers, the people that are in the SS ranks, they are all disciplined. They'll do what they're told.
Politically motivated, for want of
and a lot of people are politically motivated.
Yeah.
And even though they're rebuilding and they're not at full strength, they're not at 20,000 men, they're more like kind of, you know, 7,000 or 8,000.
Yeah.
That's still quite a lot.
Yeah.
And that is comparable with an airborne division in terms of fighting men.
Yeah.
And they've also got a lot more heavy equipment.
Yeah.
They've got guns, they've got self-propelled guns, they've got tanks, they've got Tigers, they've got Panthers, they've got Panzer Mark IVs, they've got Stugs. You know, they've got Offenröhrs, they've got Panzerfaust, they've got lots of machine guns, MG42s that fire incredibly rapidly at 23 bullets a second, etc., etc.
Well, they've also got a very clear objective. You know, they've not got to take the initiative here. They've got to keep. It's the Allies who've got to figure out.
They've got to defend.
They've got to defend, and it's a built-up area. You know, the railway bridge is over there.
It's literally just over there.
Marshalling
yards are over there. This is the Kranhof Park.
Yeah.
So this is the western side.
Where, in case you're wondering, it is Scaffolding Tuesday, which accounts for the whamming going on behind us. But the railway runs that way. Beyond that is the road bridge.
Yeah.
And the town, and what's happening here where we are is an attempt to peel round, go round the direct approach, isn't it? Coming along the riverbank to get up to the bridge. But what the SS have been doing is setting fire to buildings, smashing stuff up. I mean, literally starting fires in the town to make smoke and make it
mayhem, and also to make it seem for the attackers, i.e. the Allies, that there's more of them than there actually are.
Yeah.
It's terrifying fighting through fire because you can't see. It's disorientating and it's hot and it hurts.
Yeah.
If you get burned by it.
Yeah.
And it destroys things, which then buildings start collapsing.
Yeah.
Into the road. They don't care whether Nijmegen's destroyed. They just care about making sure they don't get across the bridge.
Yeah, hanging onto the bridge.
So there's two bridges. There's the railway bridge.
Yep.
So the whole point of this thrust here by the Allies is to attack the thing, okay, well, we haven't got a road bridge. Let's at least get across the railway. You can always take a tank across the railway line if you need to. So that's the thinking behind there. And so what has happened is you've got two battle groups that have been sent here. You've got Kampfgruppe, battle group, Reinhard, which is from the 10th SS, and you've got Kampfgruppe Jülich, which is from the 9th SS. And what you've now got is you've got 30 Corps here. So they arrive on the morning of D+2, your Black Tuesday, the 19th.
Tuesday morning,
So they arrive here, and by the afternoon, General Horrocks, commander of 30 Corps, has arrived as well. He's up in position. He's talking to Gavin at his CP. We're saying, okay, what's the plan then? And Gavin goes, okay, this is what I think we should do. What we should do is we should hit both bridges from the south. We should go through the town with as much force as we possibly can, and then we're probably going to have to do a river crossing. And Horace goes, well, that's okay, because I've got 33 boats with our engineers in our engineer train.
Somewhere at the back of the traffic jam.
No, but they're going to be here by tomorrow morning. So we can't, maybe not do the river crossing today, Tuesday the 19th, but first thing tomorrow morning, the 20th, not a problem, we're going to be able to do it.
Yeah.
But let's crack on with fighting through the town.
Yeah.
But what a difference.
Yeah.
What a difference 2 days makes.
2 days makes.
48
right.
simple hours.
Then we need to. So this is.
Like that, anyway.
So this is the railway bridge thrust.
I'm no Dean of Washington.
No, you're not. And we need to get away from the scaffolding and go over to the main thrust into the town by guards armoured.
Well, so this is So there's two thrusts. This is the western thrust, and this is a combination of D Company.
Yeah.
Of Colonel Benjamin van der Voort's 505th. They're the ones we haven't really talked about yet.
Van der Voort.
Van der Voort. Yeah. So this is D Company of the of the 505th, which is 2nd Battalion, obviously, of the 505th, and they are there with a company of the 1st Battalion Grenadier Guards.
Oh, jolly
and
good.
a troop of the 2nd Grenadier Guards, because
Marvellous.
in Guards Armoured, what they had was these armoured divisions. They had motorised infantry, which was made up of 1 Guards battalion, and then they had armour, i.e. tanks, made up from another battalion.
Yeah.
So 1st Battalion is motorised infantry, 2nd Battalion is in Sherman tanks.
Yeah. Well, and the reason for this is because the Guards have so many people that they're able to then turn themselves into a mechanised armoured formation. And the Guards, of course, they are supposedly elite soldiers, aren't they, as well? But they have their own selection, they have their own way of doing things.
They certainly have their own style and insistence.
Well, exactly, they have their own way of doing things, and strictly speaking, aren't part of the army. Are their own organisation.
Yeah.
And could promote whoever they want.
They're like the Waffen-SS?
And they're unsackable. Kind of.
Well, in so much that they're kind of part of it, but not part of it.
Yeah, they're set aside. Yeah. And you can't sack Guards officers if you're an army officer. It's part of the issue. But I mean,
part of their USP.
Part of their USP. But they come good here, is the truth, don't they?
Well, they do really, really well. And what happens is you've got this American and British force.
Yep.
So British armoured troops in American tanks, with British infantry and American infantry. There's D Company working together. They start clearing the marshalling yards so that they can attack the bridge, the railway bridge, not the road bridge, and they're doing absolutely fine. And then they get stuck here, and the first lead Sherman tank gets knocked out as it's coming up through southern part of Crayon gets knocked out on the corner, and they don't make any progress that day. So that's the 19th done. So they go, okay, it's getting dark now, league back for the night, because that's what tanks do, and we'll start again first thing tomorrow morning.
Why do tanks do that at night? Because they're vulnerable during the day. Is the point, isn't it?
They're vulnerable at night because you can control.
I mean, that's what I mean. Sorry, let me say that again. Why do tanks do that at night? Because they're vulnerable at night, aren't they? That you basically
can't see anyone coming.
So you can't see anyone coming. You can't see where you're going. Can't see where you're coming.
Sticky bomb on
the thing is, I think
whatever.
sometimes we take that for granted. It's the reason that armour doesn't do anything at night. But it actually, the minute you stop and think about it,
because
someone can walk up.
You can walk up and just
stick a sticky
climb
bomb
on the back.
Yeah.
Chuck a grenade through the hatch, whatever, or a sticky bomb or whatever. I mean, you simply cannot have tanks out of action. If you're going to use them at night, you've got to be moving them, but that is a really, really high risk thing, even if you're moving, because you're not moving fast. The idea that tanks are beetling around at 30 miles an hour, it doesn't happen like that. They're creeping forward, stopping, firing, spraying stuff with machine guns, moving on again. It's an incredibly slow process. There's nothing quick about it at all. And if you can't see them coming, you haven't got the eyes, they're incredibly vulnerable. So that's why you don't operate at night. You're absolutely bang on.
Exactly.
So then, but at the same time on the 19th, you've also got these guys going attacking on the Eastern Force, and that's an entirely British thing. Okay.
Right, well, here we are. This is Germany, isn't it?
Yes.
We're about to enter Germany.
We're about to invade.
I mean, maybe we'll get some walking the ground vibes from invading Germany. I mean, can we even say that anymore?
Well,
these days? Who knows?
but I'll tell you what, Bo, it's been very instructive, hasn't it?
It certainly has.
I mean, you were just saying a minute ago that you were thinking, God, how awful it would be in a tank going through a town. Well, we've just been through Groesbeek. Now we're out in the countryside. That's the Reichswald over there.
Yep.
So that's Germany. This is it. And there's the Groesbeek Heights behind us. But you were just saying that. Imagine being attacked. You're so closed in, aren't you?
Yeah. Well, the physics. I mean, we're just we're driving along tarmac roads. We're not under any pressure here. But the physicality of being, you know, it's the noise, the smell. You're holding on. Everything about it is being in this machine is physical. And you can see you were fighting in the summer, like a long day in this from dawn till dusk.
Yeah, it'd be knackering, wouldn't it?
Incredibly physically demanding. Even if you're not moving, because you're always on your feet. You're always in the, you know, and everything about it. That comes down in your fingers, you're losing your fingers. All of it is like there to smash your teeth in, bash your knee on, and bend yourself in general. And that's the, you know, you're only gonna get that by sitting in this. And also the really amazing thing as we go along is the people waving, the Dutch people. I wonder if they're going to wave when we get into Germany.
Yeah. I don't know.
Who knows? But the you know, you can start to think what must it have been like, and obviously it's very, very distant echo this of what it must have been like being in one of these, turning up, the Dutch people waving us on. Anyway, absolutely correct. And now we're moving. Prepare to move, Holland.
Prepare to move, yeah, exactly. Get on with it. There you go, got it.
Oh yeah. They like the tanks the best, don't they, the punters?
Why wouldn't you?
Yeah. Right, well, so we're looking at 30 Corps.
Yes, we are. And when we've been doing all our tours around Arnhem and Nijmegen and stuff, we haven't really talked that much about them until we got to here and the battles for the bridges.
Yeah.
But obviously it's a huge thing. I mean, it's Second Army. It's the spearhead of British Second Army.
Yep.
Guards Armoured Division, 43rd Wessex Division,
right.
8th Independent Armoured Brigade.
Yeah.
So it's a lot. It's a huge number. It's like 20,000 vehicles, something like that.
Yeah.
Commanded by General Horrocks.
Yep. Brian Horrocks.
Jorrocks, yes.
Who's a Monty man, right?
Yeah, and he's a thoroughly good chap, but not the kind of
wounded in North Africa.
Very badly,
has malaria.
Yes.
Too, you know.
Yeah.
So he's been around the block.
And he's a chap, isn't he?
He's a chap.
He's a good laugh and
he's a jolly good chap.
A really good guy. But I would say tactically, you know, a bit iffy. But one of the most interesting things is that the whole point is 30 Corps are coming up towards these bridges, which are going to be captured in the southern part by the 101st Airborne, then by the 82nd Airborne, then by British 1st Airborne around Arnhem. But on that Sunday, the 17th of September, when Market Garden is launched, they don't get moving until about 2:30 in the afternoon.
Yeah.
What's going on there?
Well, Horrocks claimed later that he's waiting to be sure the aircraft are overhead because he doesn't want it cancelled.
Okay, but counterpoint. Why don't you just go anyway and make a little foray into Holland?
Look, I don't know.
I mean, what's going on there? Anyway, they're slow to get going.
They're slow to get going.
And they get here 33 hours late on the morning of the 19th of...
But what we have here today, and I'm, you know, casually leaning on a Sherman tank,
yes.
in Sherwood Rangers Yeomanry colours.
Yeah.
8th Independent Armoured Brigade, but we've got loads and loads of other vehicles here.
We have.
I mean, you're leaning on a Chevy.
Yep.
Chevy Quad.
A British version Chevy.
Yeah.
This is part of the reconnaissance.
Yeah. Wessex
Corps.
Division. So that's
43rd Wessex.
43rd Wessex, which is Ivor Thomas.
Yes. Not a nice man.
You're not a fan of his.
Not a fan, no.
It's hard to find any fans of his.
No.
This, of course, that's the weight.
Yep.
So you see this on British vehicles, the thing in yellow that tells you what weight it is, which means a military policeman can say, you can't go over there. This crossing doesn't have the right...
You need to go over this bridge, not that bridge. So at the next fork, turn right. Yeah, that's exactly what
because all of that is worked out, figured out, built into how you know. So this is good for a 30-ton bridge, no problem. But anyway, so that's one of those details. I think this is a Dutch vehicle, isn't it? And a lot of these vehicles here today are from the Netherlands, right? Which is really cool.
But a huge number also have come over from the UK. It's really impressive. So we've got a half track here. Absolutely love these. This is obviously American built.
Yep.
We had about 7,500 of them in Northwest Europe. I mean, huge. They've got this. You know, this comes up.
On the plate.
Yeah, it's absolutely amazing. Another Chevrolet. Lots of trucks. Big one here. I am a Sherman too, but quiet. It's a Bedford, one of the great makes.
Yeah. And that's 79th Armour Division.
Yes, it is.
That's in the colour of 79th. Who are the specialised armour people?
But also only seven.
They always get called.
Only 7 tons here.
Yeah, again, only 7 tons.
Okay, so what I want to know is why that Chevrolet is 7 tons and this one's 6 tons. But let's not worry about it.
I can't tell you, Jim.
No.
Oh, they're preparing to move.
We're preparing to move.
One of the really brilliant things about this is we have people reenacting as military policemen, which is obviously we need them. But who'd volunteer for that?
I don't know.
What kind of person?
Well, actually, but they're not having to bang anyone up for being pissed.
No.
They're just having to
Not yet.
direct traffic, and I reckon that could be quite fun. Beetling around on their aerials, motorbikes, would be quite a laugh. We've got this one here as well, and then we got
a carrier.
And a carrier. And it's quite nice seeing this with the hood, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, yeah. Carrier's the coolest thing in the lot.
You know, so a lovely stowage in here. They've got all the kit, they've got the microphones, and look at that.
Smoke, the lot.
Yeah, look at that.
Yeah.
Look at that on a Lee Enfield.
Yeah, that's right. It's a cut-down Lee Enfield trigger mechanism that fires the smoke.
Isn't that genius?
And you see that on the side of tanks and everything. That's the thing they made up. I mean,
and here are our MPs. Look over here.
Yeah.
Come on, let's go and have a look at talk to them.
Yeah, come on.
Quick one. Look at all these motorbikes.
Look at it.
Okay, I also covet one of these, and actually I think that's a bit more achievable, if I'm brutally honest. So these are our MPs who are directing us and telling us what to do. Looking very age appropriate, aren't they?
They are actually. I think the thing is though, as we've established in previous episodes, is we look about the same age as the people in their 40s, right? So actually, we look age appropriate.
Yeah, we can just about pull it off. I certainly look younger than Hedley Verity at 35.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Great England bowler, by the way. Lost his life on Sicily.
It's all very cool, this though.
Yeah. Well, we need to go and get back to our tank.
Get back on our tank. Yeah.
And go across Nijmegen Bridge.
Yeah. Like and subscribe.
Come on then, let's get going.
Whoa.
What a dickhead.
Well, we're about to go across the Nijmegen Road Bridge, which was finally captured by a combination of British lead troops from Guards Armoured Division and the 82nd Airborne, American 82nd Airborne, on the evening of the 20th of September 1944, so exactly 80 years ago today. So it's very thrilling to be here in an armoured column representing British 30 Corps and troops from the Guards Armoured.
It was a troop of Shermans, and we're on a Sherman. I mean, what else could you ask for?
Here we go, Al.
Here we go.
This is the big one.
Guards Armoured didn't wait for the green light, did they?
No.
I get a feeling of, I mean this is...
We're just getting stuck in rush hour traffic.
Yeah.
What? How can that be?
Oh my God, look at it.
Yeah, but, okay, it's still amazing, isn't it?
It's completely amazing, Jim. It's completely amazing. I mean, honestly. Well, Arnhem, that way.
Arnhem!
Arnhem!
What are you going to do? It's so easy.
Oh my God, I don't believe it.
Can you believe this?
No.
Here we go! I've got to get my camera out as well for this one. Here we are, going across the Nijmegen Road Bridge, following in the footsteps of the Guards Armoured Division on on the 20th of September 1944, and we're doing it 80 years later to the day. How thrilling is that?
This is incredible.
We're caught up in rush hour traffic, but that's the price of freedom.
Yeah, I'd rather be held up by rush hour traffic than
Than an 88mm. But it's the original bridge, folks. So I'm feeling a little bit like Peter Carrington, who was the first Sherman tank to get across on that evening 80 years ago, with a certain amount of trepidation, of course. But what a thing. What a thing. It's just getting the experience of what it must have been like going in an armoured column. The speed and all the rest of it. I mean, it's pretty slow stuff, isn't it?
Yeah. Right, we're going flat out. This is flat out.
Huh? His beret looks shit.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah. There's plenty of shit beret shit, don't worry.
Well, I'll tell you what, Al, river
Yeah.
crossings in daylight under enemy fire, very difficult.
Yeah, really, really hard.
Yeah, but they can be done.
Yeah, but I personally don't want to do one myself.
No, I'll tell you a much better plan is just go to the bridge and capture it on the first day when there's only 18 jerrys.
Yeah, well, of course that's a better plan. But the point is by now the war is not going to be over by Christmas.
No, that ship has already
That
sailed.
ship has sailed along the Waal.
Down the Waal.
Down the Waal.
Yeah,
and here we are, because this is the Waal, which is the river before the Nijmegen, where the Arnhem Road Bridge is. The road bridge and the rail bridge are over there to our east. You've got to get across here.
Yep.
There's an attack going on in the town, which is as you can see, the raised ground beyond the railway bridge. There's an attack going on in there. But you've got to
and the thinking is that the Germans can't be absolutely everywhere. They know that okay, there's Fort Benenden over there, so there's Germans dug in there, but they're not high-grade troops.
And that's where where the sort of those flats are. And
yeah, exactly. So this is kind of, you're out of town here. Hopefully, it's not the resistance is not going to be quite so hard. Just over here, the other side. This road bridge obviously wasn't here. The other side of that, where there's all this sort of industry and scaffolding and graffiti, all that stuff, that's where the PGEM power plant was.
Yeah.
And that was just hit on the morning of the 17th of September.
Power's knocked
so
out.
Knocks out all the power. So there's no electricity supply, and that's where they are. And basically, the commanders all get up there on the morning of the 20th of September. So you've got General Horrocks, the commander of 30 Corps. You've got Jumping Jim Gavin.
Yep.
He's there. You've got Reuben Tucker, the 504th, who we last met at the Grave Bridge. Gavin, of course, goes to the 504th. They're his kind of go-to team for the toughest missions. 1st Battalion and the 2nd Battalion, they've been involved with the Grave Bridge and the Heumen Bridge. So now it's the turn of the 3rd Battalion. And again, they're not commanded by a Lieutenant Colonel, they're commanded by a Major Julian Cook.
Yep.
And he's drawn the short straw. 2 companies are going to go across in the initial wave, the 33 boats.
Yep.
But actually it's only 26 in the end.
That arrive in the convoy.
Yeah, because the others have been damaged, too badly damaged on the transit getting here.
Yeah.
So there's only going to be 26, and then they're going to come back, and the third company is then going to go across afterwards. That's the idea. Now, what they're going to basically do is they're going to give every little bit of firepower they possibly can.
Yeah.
So the Irish Guards are going to be along here. There's going to be tanks
Parked
along
up,
here. Yeah, this shoreline has changed. Would have been much more sloping down, and they're kind of, they're overlooking these positions. Yeah. You've got the 376th Parachute Field Artillery. they're involved. You've also got the Leicester Yeomanry in
Yeah.
Sextons, you know,
Yeah.
25-pounders on a Sherman chassis. So you've got those as well. You've also got other men from the 504th and from the 505th coming up and supporting with machine guns.
Yeah.
So they're fine. So basically giving as much covering fire as they possibly can. And what happens is they have this big conference in the morning. You know, they go up to the 9th floor of the PGEM, the PGEM power plant,
Yeah.
and look down and they can see all the German positions. They go, well, you know, so obviously it's a tough one, but it's, you know, how hard can it be?
Yeah.
And Reuben Tucker turns to Vanderler, who's the commander of the Irish Guards and the tanks, and goes, "You keep the crowds busy, we'll do all the rest."
Marvellous stuff.
Yeah,
But,
you know, but of course, he hasn't
but
got
the
to
thing
do
is,
it.
well, he hasn't got to do it. Also, you can keep the crowds, because it's obvious what you're doing. You're forming up with boats here. There's no disguising what's happening.
No.
You can lay smoke as they're rowing across, they're paddling across, but it's obvious there are boats coming. So the Germans with guns on fixed lines can do all sorts of
of course they
harm
can. Yeah, of course
long before they actually see you. So
Well, I don't know about that actually, because the Typhoons come in at 3 or whatever, and they've just before 3, and they absolutely hammer them all with kind of cannons and rockets and all the rest of it. Then the barrage starts at 3.
yeah.
Okay, so they're all then keeping their heads down on the other side of the other side. Then you've got them getting into their boats at 3:15 and, you know, scrambling down. So they're also firing smoke, so the whole river's covered in smoke. The problem happens is that halfway across, the smoke starts to disperse and get a bit patchy.
As it might.
As it might. 2/3 of the way across, the Germans have got their bead.
Yeah. Well, and they're really close. 2/3 of the way across, they're that much closer.
Yeah,
that
they
much
are.
easier to hit.
Yeah, they're also being drifted by the current, which is going that way, of course. So they're getting pushed downstream as they're doing. So they're having to kind of correct it. It's getting absolutely furious. There's holes going into boats. Water's coming on board. They're scooping out the water with their helmets. Guys are dying. Every time someone gets hit, that means that's someone who can't row, who can't paddle.
Yep.
So you've got men with their rifle butts.
Yeah.
You've got thwack of and fizz and hiss of bullets fizzing and zapping past you and into you, and your shoulders and your arms are just absolutely dying. This is a paddle for life.
Yeah.
You've then got to get across to the other side. Once you do get out, your blood is up.
Yeah, their blood's
adrenaline-
boiling, aren't they? They're
absolutely boiling. They've had it because all the time they're there, they're defenceless.
Yeah.
They can't fire themselves,
Yeah.
and it's that impotence, I think, must just be so difficult.
I mean, if people have seen A Bridge Too Far, this is one of the epic scenes of the movie.
Of
you know,
course,
the river
Robert
crossing,
Redford as
because
Julian Cook.
Exactly, because it is an epic scene. It's the most amazing dramatic moment. And at the same time, the attack in the town is going in.
Yes. Yeah. So this is still happening. This is an extension of where we were in the Crayenhof Park.
Yeah.
You know, this and over by Belvedere. It's going on into day 2. So the fight starts for the town on the 19th.
Yeah.
Continues all day on the 20th. But it's not until 3:15 that they're getting into the boats.
You know, of all the places we've been, looking at this is one of the hardest to picture because
It's changed.
Not
All
just,
this is-
not
there's
just
all this
because
in it.
it's changed, but because it's so out there.
Yeah.
When we were at the Gravel Bridge, at the Grady Bridge, you could, because it was sort of peaceful and bucolic, you could get your head around the shock and the surprise of the aircraft and the moment being changed and shattered and how you would be disoriented by that. But this, you know, nice flats here.
Yeah,
but it's
overlooking
not
the
just
river.
this change. It's just that the river flowing by is such a fundamentally peaceful
Yeah.
thing. Actually imagining this river crossing, I think, is really, really difficult. Well, here we are. I'm right next to the railway bridge across the Waal at Nijmegen. And the view from here to there, to the road bridge is
Pretty much the same.
Apart from that enormous 2024 barge going by, it's basically the same.
Yeah.
And over here in the distance, you can see smoke on the river as a reenactment of the Waal crossing is about to take place, although it looks like they're starting from the other bank.
Yeah, well, can't quite understand that. They're running away from the Germans. Or maybe they're rowing over to start and row back.
To row
again.
back, maybe that's what they're doing. Yeah. They're underway, aren't
Oh,
they?
right, I'll get my stopwatch out. Right, so we're timing this.
Yeah.
Just set the clock, and they're off. And this time they're doing it the right way
They're
round.
doing it the right way. I mean, obviously this isn't This is sort of laboratory conditions rather than, isn't it?
Yeah. So, but let's think about what there would have been. So all along here, particularly at that bit, you've got hull down Sherman tanks from the Irish Guards.
Yeah, plastering the other side.
You've also got sextons from the Leicester Yeomanry, I think it is. I think it's a Leicester Yeomanry. You've also got other American shell fire. You've got Americans from other members from the 82nd Airborne, but not those those three companies.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
Some guns going. Great.
Yeah, that's strong. You've got guns going. You've got machine gun fire.
Is that the garrison?
Yes, it is.
It is the garrison. So they're offering their 25-pounders.
Yeah. That's very good. Yeah, that is the garrison. I remember that's why Keith wasn't on this bit of the...
But I mean, it seems that they're doing this in a sort of staggered waves, whereas... Was it not everyone go?
I think it was everyone go, but weren't there
was a second wave later.
So there was two companies, so I think they're doing it in two companies, aren't they?
But already, I mean, there is
E, F and G, wasn't it?
Yeah, there's quite a wind, so you can see they're being blown up, blown downstream by the wind.
Yeah. It was D, E and F.
And the current here is also very powerful. That's the other thing, that when you see the barges going back upstream towards Germany, east into Europe, they're really motoring. They're really pushing hard to go up the current. So I mean, look how far the current's taking them.
Yeah, way over. And of course, this is exactly what happened on the day.
Yeah.
Yeah, isn't that fascinating to see? It really has.
Really is, and look, they're going beyond that orange. They're going to end up past that orange buoy, the second buoy, because I think those buoys are kind of marking the limits of it.
Yeah, they're completely the wrong bit, aren't they?
They're being blown and pushed.
Yeah. And it was also interesting to hear the 25-pounders. I mean, they're not, I mean, how far away is that? We're only talking about 600, 700 yards?
Yeah. Half a mile.
It seems like quite a long way away, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It's not that loud.
Yeah. I mean, the other thing is that the
Okay, so they're just nearing the edge. Okay, they have just come inside this side of the bridge, but not by much.
But this is
3 minutes.
So the first people did it in 3 minutes here today.
That shows you so much. Okay, my three takeaways are: one, they're getting across quicker than you'd imagined. I'd imagine. Two, just the extreme power of the current.
Yeah.
And how much that's dragging them away, because some of them look like they really are beyond the bridge to me.
Yeah.
In the far distance.
They are.
And the other thing is that the guns don't sound quite as loud as I imagined they would.
Yeah.
But it is good hearing those guns, isn't it?
Yeah. Yes, they've all ended up right by the railway, by the new road bridge, haven't they?
Yeah.
Around the.
Yeah. Even the ones that were further over are still.
Yeah.
Being pushed.
But think of it, your lungs would be roaring.
Yeah.
Right from the effort. Your arms aching. You'd be soaked through.
Yeah. Yeah, you can understand why by the time they get over there in the evening, their blood's up.
Interesting to see it from the distance across the width of the river. You get an actual idea of the distance travelled, the effort.
There you go,
involved.
though. Reenactment of the Waal crossing. 3 o'clock in the afternoon. We've done it at midday, but that's okay. Well, I'm glad we saw that.
Yeah great. I'm glad we didn't have to do it though.
Now we've moved over to the western part, and by this stage, this is an all-British operation. This is not the 82nd Airborne here.
Purely Guards Armoured.
Purely Guards Armoured, and actually Gavin and General Alan Adair, Major General Alan Adair, who is the commander of the Guards Armoured Division, have had a confab. They've kind of sat and worked out how they're going to do it, and they've recognised, but by this stage, this is just street by street, house by house. This is mouth holing. They're just going to have to do it hard. They have to do it the hard way. Yeah. And they make decent progress on the 19th, all things considered. This is a major city and everything. Yeah. But even so, They haven't just waltzed up to the bridge or anything like that. You know, what was very, very easy a few days earlier has become very, very tough. And here, this is the Valkhof, this park right at the, you know, the heart of old Nijmegen.
The top of old Nijmegen as well.
Yeah.
The other thing is the ground comes right up here, and as we'll see when we get over there's the bridge below you.
The bridge is just over there.
Yeah.
And it's a park, so it's really easy to dig into. It's got walls.
Yeah.
It's part of a kind of ancient. It's a parkland, but it's around the edge of an ancient kind of sort of fortress.
Yeah.
You've got to get up here. You've got to come over this open ground, and you've got to prize the Germans out, and that's incredibly difficult. And don't forget that so much of Nijmegen is burning.
Yeah.
It's abandoned by civilians. Civilians are taking shelter in various hospitals and other kind of civic buildings, and are just having a terrible time. I mean, there's a reason why we look around here.
It's all modern.
It's all modern.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was absolutely hammered.
Yeah.
And it's all due to that fighting here in...
And in a peculiar way, it's kind of a sort of reverse version of the action in Arnhem, where you've got guys, really super motivated guys, hanging onto the area around the bridge, dug in, that need to be winkled out by armour and infantry.
Yeah, completely.
It's sort of the same deal, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, and you can see why this is such a hard fight.
Yeah.
And you know, it goes on throughout the afternoon of the 20th as well, while the Waal crossing is taking place.
Yeah.
There is
carries on.
This terrible fighting here as well.
And I think the thing to remember about 30 Corps itself, they're months into their deployment. So the 30 Corps that starts on the 17th of September isn't at full complement.
No.
Doesn't have all the bits and whistles and bells that it had when it first came to Northwest Europe.
No. Has
been on the go for a long time. The other thing to remember, of course, is that you know, you do have tactical air in the Waal crossing that's coming.
Yep.
But this is the thing that 30 Corps can bring with them. But it still needs setting up. It still needs keying in a way that earlier in the war in Normandy, Northwest Europe, where it's just a permanent fixture. Everything's just that much more difficult to maintain, to organise, to run. It's why the boats are delayed.
Yeah.
You know, you're coming up one road. You're trying to keep the road open, because that's the other thing. Horrocks, as well as wanting to get across here, his problem is keeping the corridor open further south.
Yep.
Lots of German counterattacks, lots of German attempts to ruin the entire enterprise.
Yep.
You know, because if you're cut off at the south, this bridge isn't any use to you at all.
No.
So I mean, I think.
But also the other thing is, this is the same problem that the Germans faced in reverse. Those panzer divisions arriving into Normandy back in June.
Yeah.
Is you're not arriving as a fully formed division.
Yeah, exactly. It's exactly my point. Yeah.
You know, you're just, when they say, oh, 30 Corps have arrived, no, they haven't.
Yeah.
The lead elements of Guards Armoured Division have arrived. That's not the same thing at all.
Yeah.
And also, you're having to peel off quite a lot, as you say, to sort out, you know, bridges at Zon and Vecht.
Well, the point of the spear becomes narrower and narrower the further north you get. Yeah. Because you're having, it's not what we would call deep battle now, where basically the whole thing rolls on. They've got to guard their flanks. The further they roll, the longer the flanks they are, the fewer the troops there are for the thrust of the spear.
But it's amazing standing here. It's this beautiful parkland. It's one of the kind of, you know, the civic joys of Nijmegen. And yet this was the scene of some of the most brutal fighting in the whole of Operation Market Garden.
Yeah.
This is not rounding up a few old guys at the foot of a bridge and overwhelming them with your superior training, vigour and youth. No. This is
house by house
slogging against Waffen SS types. And it's a completely different kettle of fish.
But the prize...
Yeah, so what I want to do is I want us to go to the Belvedere.
Okay.
And that's the last thing that they have to take before they can secure the southern end of the bridge. So let's go there.
Let's go there.
It's a hell of a spot. I mean, the Grenadier Guards don't clear the Valkhof
until
later on that afternoon of the 20th. But actually on this part of the town and from the southern part of the town here, well, from south of where we are now, you've also got the 505th working alongside the British.
Because the Groesbeek Heights
So when
that,
I was saying
way, right?
it's a British show, I meant just the Valkov.
God blimey, look at this.
I know.
Look at this view.
I know, it's amazing, isn't
Wow.
it? It is the best view. And this is the Belvedere, and they only get this finally in the evening of the 20th by getting down a sort of back alley and manage to blast their way in. And when they get in, the SS troops that have been here have written graffiti all over the walls, sort of, you know, long live Adolf Hitler and all this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just absolutely bonkers. But that's it, and it's the same bridge. That's the most amazing thing about it.
Yeah.
It is the same bridge.
Yeah, because the Germans do try and blow it up with frogmen, don't they? A couple of days after.
Yeah.
They send frogmen down the river who are stopped and all that sort of stuff. And of course, it's rigged for demolitions and they don't blow it. Even when there's the opportune moment to do so.
And I think that's Arnhem over there, isn't it? You can just see the
high ground, yeah.
Yeah.
That high ground there is Arnhem, yeah.
That's Arnhem. So that's what you're talking about. It's not very far. But of course, what happens is the 3rd 504th under Julian Cook, they meet Peter Carrington, later Foreign Secretary under Margaret Thatcher.
And they are,
he's literally second tank over, isn't he?
That's
or
right.
first tank?
Yeah. And they stop. And they stop because, I mean, they have no orders to go any further. First things first.
Also, the other thing is that all the German troops are killed.
Yeah.
So all the troops between here and the other end, they're just gunned down.
They're killed,
or forced to jump over and they drown. You know, it's a slaughter. It's a slaughter. It's a terrible, terrible sight. But as you say, you know, the blood's still up from the guys who crossed the Waal, and the guards stop, and some of the Americans are absolutely furious, aren't they?
Yeah, Captain Burris jumps on Carrington's tank, and Carrington has to lock himself inside the tank because he's so angry. They're absolutely spitting, wild with anger that the British have stopped, and you know, but why have they stopped?
But also, they're in no position to keep going.
Well, no, of course not. And this goes back to what we were talking about there. Is that yes, 30 Corps are here, but this is four tanks. There's no way you're getting a tank brigade over the bridge in any short order.
Because the rest of them haven't caught up. Nijmegen's on fire.
Yeah.
Rubble everywhere.
Yeah. And your guns aren't keyed in. Your artillery isn't. I mean, the thing is though, these things all sound like when you know what's at stake at Arnhem, these things sound like excuses.
But they're not.
But they're not. And just because it seems unbelievable doesn't mean it can't be explained. The thing. You know, it's not a lack of urgency. The lack of urgency is earlier in the campaign is on D-Day when you don't take this bridge. You wouldn't have needed to do any of this.
Yeah.
If the bridge had been taken on D-Day or D+1.
But I think when you're looking at this, you feel like you can picture tanks going across that.
Yeah, completely.
I've seen pictures of it in a way that you can't with the
river crossing.
River crossing.
No, this is you can completely see it, and you can completely see also how really difficult it is to take the ground around it and the approaches to the bridge and control them. Forward observation officers, you know, you've got spotters. I mean, you know, the joke in Normandy is, where's the OP? Look, there's a castle overlooking the bridge. There's the OP. You know, and there's snipers in the bridge, isn't there?
Yeah, there's a guy who climbs up onto the superstructure, doesn't it? And they have to shoot him down from Carrington's tank. But you can see that, you know, once you hold this, you've got it, because you can look down on that, you can shoot anything up, and then you're holding the bridge. You're holding it. You've got it. It's about securing each end, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's a hell of a view because you're looking at the same view. Okay, it's changed. You know, there weren't sort of florid flower.
Yeah, there wasn't a sort of fake beach kind of area down the sort of leisure beach thing down there.
No, none of that. But it's the same. It's the same bridge. It's the same crossing point. It's the same ramp. This building is here.
It's the same problems.
It's the same problems, and it's so atmospheric, and it's just. Again, it's that sense of scale. There's the Groesbeek Heights just over there. There's your easy entrance to the bridge. If only they'd come in from over there. Yeah. I mean, crikey. Amazing. Anyway, I think what we need to do now is go and have a debrief over a pint.
I think a glass of cold Dutch beer to wash away the day's walking, and also I mean, there's lots to talk about, isn't there? To the Blue Hand.
Yes. Onwards.
Cheers, Jim.
Yeah, cheers. And good to be back in the Blue Hand.
Yeah, absolutely.
Cafe in the Blue Hand. Blauer.
Yes, that's very nice. That's a very nice, cold, refreshing drink.
I find generally, though, find Dutch beers just a bit too strong.
Yeah, well, they are. There's some absolute
Belters in there, like 8%.
Yeah, there's some 8%. There's an 8.1 in there.
Where's the fun in that?
Well,
I like my warm ale at 3.8.
I can see a kind of fun in that, if that's the question you're asking me.
Well, I know, but okay, yeah.
So,
if the night is long,
have a shandy if you're that frightened of it.
You can't go in here and have a. I'll have 8%, but I want a shandy. I want half and half with the lemonade. That's not going to work.
Well, anyway, welcome to Walking the Ground. We're having a pint and we're going to wax philosophical about what we've seen. By the way,
this is Nijmegen Wash Up.
If you're enjoying what we've been doing, please like, subscribe, and do comment. The thing we really, really loved about the Normandy series is your comments.
Yeah.
People getting involved. The difference between a ditch and a culvert, for instance, that's been a particularly fertile thread for us.
But I think we now know the answer, don't we?
Yeah, the culvert's covered.
Yeah.
A ditch is a ditch, right?
Ditch is a ditch.
The culvert is a sort of Gucci ditch.
Yes, I don't think you'd ever describe a ditch as a culvert, would you? But you might call a culvert a ditch.
Yeah, okay. That is correspondence on this is now ended, as they say.
Yeah, no, it's over. It's done. Anyway, but generally speaking, we really like your feedback.
Yeah. But this has been a really interesting day and night because we've done all this in Nijmegen pretty much in a day. It's been a really interesting day today because
we need to Grove Bridge.
We're Gravy Bridge.
Gravy Bridge, the human bridge.
The human bridge.
Human, not human.
We've looked at the issue of the Reichswald, the landing zones, the high ground.
Yes.
Gavin's CP, his centre of gravity, or is it?
Yes. An alternative route to the bridge.
The alternative route to the bridge, the missed opportunity that represents.
Mm-hmm.
Then the
difficulties of fighting in a built-up area.
Bitter bloody business of having missed that opportunity.
Well, I'll tell you one of the things that's been really interesting because we've just walked down from the Belvedere and the Valkhof down to here, and this is, as you can see, this is old Nijmegen. Whereas around the Valkhof, it's completely new buildings. Yeah. Of course, because it's completely destroyed. Yeah. You know, it was destroyed by bombing, it was destroyed by shelling, it was destroyed by the Germans setting fire to it, the Waffen-SS setting fire to it. Down here, it's sort of okay, isn't it? It's all right. You get a taste of what it was. Because there's no fighting. Nijmegen was bombed. It's all about the bridges.
Nijmegen was bombed by accident, wasn't it? Later in the war.
Yes, it was. But the main reason this is okay is because there's a bridge here.
Yeah. This bit.
Yeah. So I mean, the two thrusts.
The two thrusts tunnel through the town to get to the bridges.
To get to the railway bridge. Yeah. To the west. To the road bridge, the main bridge that we all know and love.
Yeah.
To the east. And so all around. The entry points are there, all the run up to those two bridges, that's where it's all destroyed and really mashed about. And it has been.
But you know
here
what?
It's all right.
But you know what? I mean, the thing for me that is really, really, I mean, apart from the fact that Germans are so disorganised on the Sunday, you could take the bridge. They're not particularly well organised on the Monday, you could take the bridge. And one of the things you read a lot about in the histories of Market Garden is how good the Germans are improvising and organising in the face of these airborne landings. But they still haven't really got their act together in Nijmegen on the Monday.
Not at all. And the people that say that, the people that distract Gavin, if anyone's going to distract them, is the 406. You're absolutely useless, but do enough to threaten drop zone T.
Well, which takes us to
2 points.
Well, yeah. So this applies in Arnhem as well. It's the fact that you're waiting for a second lift.
Yeah.
The pause, putting things on hold, putting a great deal of your combat power on hold because you're waiting for the second lift is, for me, the flaw in this whole thing.
Yes, because it's all about surprise and operating quickly.
Yeah.
And going for
it.
Yeah. I think one of the things that's really interesting compared to, well, we'll get onto this when we get to Arnhem tomorrow, but I think what was really impressive was the instructions of those landing, particularly the 504th.
Yeah.
Don't really see it at the 505th and 508th, but the 504th, we're taking Grove Bridge and taking one of the bridges across the Waal Canal, is their insistence on don't stop, don't wait for assembly, just get on with it. And that works brilliantly, doesn't it? It works brilliantly at Grove, it works brilliantly at Heumen.
But the thing is, the antithesis of that is, by the way, a big portion of your strength will need to arrive tomorrow. you're going to have to hold on to a landing zone. It's the choice of the landing zone that is very peculiar.
Well,
okay. Why
so
not DZO?
Why not DZO?
Which is in the centre of things, and offers you resupply to Nijmegen.
But also, it's the most protected because you've got the 504th to the south, you've got the 505th to the east, and in theory, you've got the 508th to the north. So you've got, if you think of kind of, here's your area.
Yeah.
You've got Nijmegen here. Here's the river. There's the road bridge. There's the railway bridge. You've got Groesbeek Heights here. You've got Graaf Bridge down here. What you've got to protect is this.
Yeah, your centre of gravity.
Right. So you have the 504th here, you have the 508th to the north, and you have the 505th here. 505th can do the whole kind of Groesbeek Heights bit. 404th can protect Graaf Bridge and make sure that stays protected, and protect the open bridge at Heumen, bridge number 7. Yeah. Leave the 508th to do all the fighting to get to the bridge. If you'd done that, if you'd allocated that and then said, okay, well, hold the Groesbeek Heights, no problem.
Yeah.
I'm not going to worry about protecting drop zone T.
Yeah.
Well, we'll watch out for what's coming out of the Reichswald, but we're not going to get too head up about it. Meanwhile, just get on and get there and come down from the Groesbeek Heights through Beek, and use that flat land to the east of Nijmegen to take the bridge. They would have taken it on day one.
But this is a bug in the air plan, isn't it? Because the drop zones for the Ginkelheath, for the second lift on the Monday, 1st Airborne Division, is further away. Why they aren't reusing the same parachute drop zone so that? Well, I don't know.
Is that just hurried planning?
I think it's all hurried planning. So much of this is a function of hurried planning, and the fact is that because the Arnhem plan is the updated Comet plan.
Yes.
Maybe it's like you're adding bits onto an existing plan, so you reason you can't use the same drop zone again. I mean, it puts them north of the railway line, which is where they're meant to end up in their phase 2 positions. But it just seems you need a centre of gravity. If you
need a centre of gravity, but you need prioritisation.
Because you want to be, although the big idea is you're knocking the enemy off balance, you need to be balanced yourself.
Yeah.
And what Gavin finds himself is unbalanced to the point where he neglects one of his objectives.
But do you remember from his diary?
Yeah.
So his diary is written on the day that it's written. I mean, the last entry I think is the 16th.
It's the 16th, which is going,
It's saying I came down last Sunday. Yeah. So that's the previous Sunday.
Yeah. They keep changing their minds with nothing certain.
But something like they still on the 14th. They still haven't sorted out. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. What the allocation is.
Yeah.
So it is incredibly last minute. According to him, he's saying to Lindqvist of the 508th the day before.
Yeah.
But it's the day before.
Yeah, it's the day before.
You need to have all this all sorted out by then.
Yeah.
And you can't help thinking with another kind of week they could have of planning.
But you know what? With another week, you'd have had Ultra going. Forget about it.
No. I mean,
you know what I mean?
A week's worth of planning.
Yeah.
We really wanted a week earlier.
Yes, arguably. Yeah. I mean, the thing is, though,
I think this could have worked. I really think this could have worked.
I know, but it didn't. And why not? And what I think what's interesting about this is a big part of this is the Allies are looking for something to do with the airborne. They need to do something with it because otherwise they're going to end up in the line, which is, after all, what happens in the winter. They get put into the line. 82nd Airborne, 6th Airborne get put into the line as part of the defence against the Ardennes offensive, and then they go into the line as line infantry for the advance into Germany.
Yeah. And
they don't want that. These guys don't want that. He's jumping Jim Gavin, not walking Jim Gavin. He's not interested in marching anywhere. And you've got this sort of you've got this thing made up of super into it guys, super motivated guys. They're all they regard themselves as a breed apart and all that, right? But you haven't got a role for them really yet. And I think they're not a rapid reaction force quite. They're sort of inventing that as they go. All of this is being done on the hoof, which is what, and it's not just the fact that they planned it in a rush. It's a new conception of what to do with airborne forces in a rush.
Yeah, okay, I agree with all of that.
And your air carrier command and everything. And also there's such pressure on the aircraft anyway. which takes you back to why it's 2 lifts. There's such pressure on the aircraft and on the crews.
Okay,
because you're so far from the mulberries.
Yeah, but one of the main criticisms is this is hubris by Monty, this is grandstanding, this is his ego getting in the way and all the rest of it. The bottom line is, I think it's a really good idea. I think it's a
good enough idea.
Yes, it's more than worth the punt.
But I think
the reason it's worth the punt because I think had they got across the line, I think the war might have been over by Christmas.
But there's caveat emptor in this, isn't there? As it were. There's absolutely no way Montgomery, Montgomery can know that, because he's handing this over to the people who say that they're experts. He's handing over the air planning. He's handing over the ground planning to these people who say they're experts, and who, the First Allied Airborne Army have been lobbying for jobs. That's what they've been doing. That's why you have all these plans popping up all over.
Okay, so Monty's thinking, okay, I'm running out of manpower. Britain needs to be at the top table.
Yeah.
We want to get the war over as quickly as possible.
Weapons are
We've got these people. These people are all saying we can do this. Let's go.
And as far as I can tell, they did very well in Normandy.
Yeah.
And they're all
dead gun.
They're full of binge or whatever you call it.
Yeah.
So you can. I think him taking the airborne people at their word.
I suppose my big point on this
it's
like there is
fine.
but the narrative of it is one, Monty's ego getting away with him, wanting all the attention to be on him. He never had a chance in hell. It was a bridge too far, but it actually was quite a lot more too far than just one bridge. It was never going to work. It was completely bonkers. It didn't have a chance of success. Why did they do it? And I think I just give all of that. I think it did have a chance of success.
Yeah.
I think it could have worked. I think
could have worked on its own terms that we're been talking about. Yeah.
Had the bridge been had 30 Corps turned up on the morning of the 19th.
Yeah.
With this bridge, the road bridge intact, both ends held by the 82nd Airborne.
Different battle.
It's a different kettle of fish. They would have gone on because they'd have had the whole day to get across, so they wouldn't have to worry about levering up at night.
Yeah. Well, and then what?
And then what happens?
Well, then what happens up? What happens up in Arnhem? Because then the Germans think
we're being attacked from both sides. We're trying to take this, but we're actually being attacked from the south. So they turn all their attention there. They get blasted out.
Well, or they turn all their attention onto the people on the northern end of the bridge, which means that then the people trying to get into Arnhem, into the town, to the bridge, aren't being resisted anymore. Yep. So maybe they roll them up. Although, what offensive power airborne soldiers actually have is a best moot.
Yep.
I mean,
it's. Well, we're going to get onto Arnhem, aren't we?
But this is it, though. This is why this battle attracts. No one has these arguments about Jupiter or Martlet or blue coat, do they?
No.
Because what's on offer is an end to the war by Christmas. Is the thing picked out of the hat.
Yeah.
That's what's on offer, and it's the thing. And I've talked about it. And I'm halfway through a reasonably strong Dutch lager. This is every time I read about this battle, I want it to work.
Yes.
Every time I read about it, I think, come on, this time, lads, you're going to make that mistake.
My point is this: is that every time I read about this battle, I want it to work. But what I increasingly think is that it could have worked.
Yeah.
Whereas I don't think it was a totally barking bonkers, 1 in a million chance, or even 1 in 100 chance. I think it actually had a decent chance.
There's enough, but the thing is there's enough soft points in the way it's executed that mean it doesn't the planets don't align on this occasion.
Yeah.
And those soft points are the bridge at Son being blown.
Yep.
The failure to capture this bridge.
So we should talk. So the bridge at Son is that's within the realms of the 101st Airborne. It's further south at Eindhoven.
Yeah.
So that plays because by the time even when the 30 Corps turn up at Graaf Bridge on the morning of the 19th, they're still 33 hours behind schedule.
Yeah, they're 33 hours behind schedule.
But that's not irretrievable. But anyway, yes. So
Son Bridge being blown up, the failure to take the bridge here, and the very, very peculiar way that 1st Parachute Brigade think they're going to take the bridge at Arnhem.
Okay, well, we're going to
Which means we have to go to Arnhem next.
We're going to go to Arnhem next, so that's tomorrow.
Yeah.
Can't wait for that.
I can't wait. I can't wait to stand by the schoolhouse and tell the story of 1st Field Company RA, Mackay, and my platoon or so worth of RESC men, who he doesn't know the names of. Whatever,
they're men.
Yeah, they're men. It's good stuff. Anyway,
going to all the key points.
Obviously, we're in a busy pub, the Blue Hand, where everyone's talking about Operation Market Garden in increasingly loud voices, including some of the children here. They let children into Dutch pubs. It's the same as at home. Anyway, we will see you at our next location, which is of course Arnhem. Like, subscribe, all that stuff. Cheers. Bye.